UJ Stadium at the Soweto campus in Johannesburg. And in terms of our build-up, we're coming to you live and direct from our Auckland Park studios. And of course, truly excited to be back after a week. But of course, the action is going to take a little bit of the break as, of course, we look forward to the Women's AFCON that will be starting on the 2nd of July. Now, when we look at this encounter that's about to take place, UJ are winless in their past 3 matches, whereas Thunderbirds are unbeaten in their past 3 matches. So it'll be interesting to see how the action goes down today. I am joined in studio by Usimpiwe Dludlu, the former Banyana captain, and of course, Gloria Brown, former Banyana goalkeeper. Thank you so much, ladies, for your time. The Hollywood Bets is back, even though ibuye nje isikhahlanyana.
Yeah, sijabulile kakhulu ukuthi ibuyile eXoli because we just want to see football week in, week out, and we know with seeing more football, it means we get to unearth players, we get to see which players really get to make it in the next tournaments for Banyana, the ones that are selected, why are their teams not playing this weekend as well, for the past couple of weekends as well. And I think it's important for us to actually applaud the teams to be able to show up today again with so much energy and all of that, because kunesikhathi la energy gets depreciated and you regress, or you hit a plateau, and then when you hit a plateau, you are now just going into on a match, energize fun, because you need the reset button, and we are getting closer to that. I think it comes at the right time where teams get to find enough time and all of that. But today's encounters as well have been great. We saw TUT earlier. I think it gave us a true reflection of what I was just saying, hitting a plateau, you know, and we are just looking forward to see what will UJ and Thunderbirds bring for us this afternoon.
And Gloria, for some of these teams, we are hoping, Gutsi, it won't be a break in momentum because they'll be off the action for a month, only back on the 30th of July. But for many, like UJ, that has been winless in the past 3 matches, it's a more than welcome break.
Yeah, for some players or some teams, it's a much-needed break to help with injuries, to make sure that players are back to full fitness, to make sure that the squads are combining well. It just gives coaches more opportunities to do a lot more during the break. But let me take this opportunity to wish Banyana well on the journey at the AFCON. It's going to be a difficult one, but we're hoping that they can bring the cup home this time. It's overdue. With this being their 12th or 13th appearance at the AFCON, being runners-up 5 times, I think Lady Luck has got to be on our side. And today's match, probably one of the thrilling ones. Yes, UJ have been in 6s and 7s in terms of their results, very inconsistent. But the Thunder, we hope to see some lightning.
Oh, hoping to see some lightning. That's what we like to hear. And in terms of what happened yesterday at the Sandton Convention Center, it was confirmed Dr. Danny Jordan has retained his position as the SAFA president. He won by a landslide of victory. It was 186 votes that he got. Rial Dwaba only walking away with 27. Soli Musabeng only 8. And of course, Lulu, it means for another 4 years, Danny Jordan will continue to be the president, and he has been at the helm since 2013.
I'm looking forward to see more of the improvement when it comes to development, because I think for us to gauge if we reached E-Vision 2022 gahle is with the results that are there. And the results, did we get the matches right? Did we get the leagues right? Did we get more players going overseas? Did we get more development for players, for coaches, for administrators, for referees and all of that? And more importantly for me as well is how the league for women's football is going to grow to even greater heights,
yes,
where we see it being a professional league where players get to be paid for playing in the league. And talking about payments, I'm excited, Guti Banyana, they are not discussing their bonuses on match day -1 on the eve of the game. They are talking 9 million that will be given for bonuses across the board. I hope and pray Guti Skanyisa Makandlela impepho yonke into for them to come back with the trophy batholele mali.
Yo, 400,000 each player. If they walk away with the gold medal, that is a life-changing amount.
Without a doubt, I think it's something that is well deserving. They've really been the team that has nursed South African hearts in situations where we believe we should have done well, especially when you look at Bafana Bafana. And when you're talking football in general, allow me to congratulate Danny Jordan on his win. However, I am saddened because it's still the same of the old. And when we talk about wanting change, you ask yourself, what has someone who's been in charge for 9 years going to do differently in the next 4 years? And it is sadly us footballers that vote for the very same, whether it's a bittersweet experience. But nevertheless, it is what it is, and you've got to live with it. All I'm hoping for is a change in women's football. The development has got to be seen. The national teams have got to do exceptionally well. So, yes.
Absolutely echoing those sentiments. In terms of yesterday, 9 goals were scored in the HWBSL Super League. City Lads going down to my Indies 2-1. Bloem Celtic, this was their 6th draw of the season. It was a goalless draw against First Touch. And of course, Durban Ladies, we saw a double brace there from Umhlongo Nondlovu. They won 5-1 against Golden Ladies. The one that we're talking about earlier on, TUT, it was, of course, Ukhumalo that scored. And of course, they won against Tsunami Queens, which means that for Tsunami Queens, they are still rooted to the bottom of the table. But also, we saw something very different in the way that they played.
Yeah, we've seen something very different. If you look at number 9 and number 16, it's 15 points difference. It's a lot, especially for Tsunami Queens and the Golden Ladies, because they need to pick themselves up and see how they can push forward. For EUJ, they're 10th, but they're only 2 points, a breath of their counterparts today, which means it's very close.
It is extremely close, and of course for UJ, they are 10th right now, but a victory for them could see them get those 3 points, and for Thunderbirds, 3 points takes them to 22. It is going to be very valuable there indeed, Gloria.
Absolutely, they push up to in between Bloemfontein and Celtic, and making sure that they keep the pressure on TUT and my Indies, but they definitely deserving of where they are, finishing in the top 8 position. But yeah, Thunderbirds have always been a team that has fought hard to be in the top 8.
Yo, Lapaya, HWBSL 6th right now. At some point, they were first on the log. But I guess Lapaya at the UJ Stadium, Soweto campus. Vusiwe Ngcobo standing by with the scene setter.
Ngiyabonga Xoli, ngikubingelele ngiphinde futhi ngibingelele nababukeli emakhaya. Welcome back to the UJ Soweto Soccer Stadium on this double-header Sunday, where the hosts namhlanje UJ currently sitting number 10 on the log with 17 points. They will be playing host to the high-flying Thunderbirds, currently occupying the 7th position on the log with a total of 19 points. Now, womabili lamaqembu angena kulo mdlalo wanamhlanje with contrasting form. For the home side, they are winless in their last 3 encounters, having lost 2 of those and drawing 1. So they will be looking to use the encounter namhlanje to get back into winning ways. You will remember that the last time that they won a match was that 2-1 victory against the Durban Ladies on the 1st of June. So Coach Anna Monati really looking to get back into winning ways here today against the high-flying Thunderbirds. For them, Thunderbirds, they are unbeaten in their last 3 encounters, having won all 3 of those. One of those, of course, including a walkover. Now for Coach Apleni, he will be looking to continue with that momentum. Also concerned about the fact that we are, of course, going to a bit of a break in terms of the HWBSL Super League, saying that he needed this time to actually continue with the momentum that the team has been building thus far. So Coach Enamunati is without her usual captain, who got injured in that last encounter where they went down 1-0 against the TUT. So Usikweza comes into that captaincy role, and the coach believes that she'll be able to get the job done here today. And of course, she will be looking to rely on her other tried and tested players, such as the likes of Umthandi. For Coach Apleni, it's Unanasela, it's Undo, it's Umkwenazi, really spoiled for choice in terms of the players that he can rely on here today. Let's bring it back and take a look at the weather conditions out here in Johannesburg, the conditions under which both teams will be looking to secure 3 points, or at the very least walk away with a draw. We are sitting at 14 degrees Celsius, humidity levels heading 25%. 50%, and there's a wind coming at a speed of about 13 kilometers per hour. So those are the conditions that this encounter will be getting underway under. Now, in terms of amaqembu namhlanje sonke siyazibuza, are the points, the 3 points, going to be going to the coast, or will they be remaining right here in Gauteng? Or even will it be a split? Will they share the spoils here today? We'll all have to wait for 90 minutes of action to unfold right here at the HWBSL Soccer Stadium. But on that note, we take it back to the team in studio. We'll see you back shortly for kickoff.
Definitely, that is the big question of Vusiwe. And if the past season is anything to go by, Thunderbirds may be going away with the victory. But let's take a quick ad break. When we do return, we hear from the coaches and take a look at those starting lineups.
Introducing new Telkom Infinite with data that goes on and on. Experience no interruptions with 15 gigs all network data on the Huawei Nova Y70 Plus on Infinite for $469 per month, or the Huawei Nova 9 SE on Infinite for $499 per month. Make chatting and streaming infinite and unlimit your world. Call 10213, click telkom.co.za or go to any Telkom shop.
Winter has arrived and we've secured the best deal for you. Get the Sealy Argo Queen Bed for only $5,999 and sleep in a winter wonderland of dreams. Plus, save 1,000 rands. Don't miss this dreamy deal today. Sleep Masters, the bed experts.
ShopRite's Extra Savings Card is giving instant cash savings to over 15 million members with every swipe. Keep swiping to save on a jumbo pack of Huggies nappies or pants for only $179.99 each. And 2 6-packs of Nutri-Day Smooth Dairy Snacks for just 28 Rand. Plus, now you can swipe to pay when you link your Extra Savings Card to your free money market account. Only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always.
Enjoy responsibly. Not for persons under the age of 18.
Yes. 15 million people have joined the ShopRite's Extra Savings Card. And now, a brand new benefit.
Extra savings brings it when you're no longer around.
Get extra peace of mind with the monthly funeral benefit.
Forget the bills, just leave them frails.
It's a 4,500 Rand grocery voucher for free. Simply swipe 4 times a month to earn free cover for the next month just by shopping.
So when you shop for what you need, remember always swipe.
No waiting period, no medical tests, no forms. Check your till slip to track your swipes. And it's free. Remember, always swipe.
Imagine if everyone got straight A's for every subject. Boring.
That's why Dial Direct rewards you daily for doing your thing. You could drive well, less,
Or not at all.
be a 5-star driver who drives fewer kilometers, or a 1-star driver who insures right by adding your home contents or buildings cover to your policy.
Your thing's your thing.
To earn up to 75% in cashback monthly, visit dialdirect.co.za.
Do your thing.
Get back cheering.
Coach Anna Wayamunati of UJ joins us now. Coach, you're basically a winless in your last 3 games, so you will certainly be looking to use this game to get back into winning ways.
Yeah, correct. Thanks for having me. Yeah, you know, winningless is one of those things because you have a team that is team for the future. Unfortunately, sometimes if you don't score goals, there's no way you can get 3 points. But this team is very determined and very dedicated and willing to get 3 points today.
Coach, let's talk about the formation yakho le ohamba ngayo namhlanje. Siyabona ukuthi uzosebenzisa 4-3-3 ku Diamond Shape. Asitshele kabanzi ukuthi yini isizathu salokho.
Yeah, it's because in the midfield of the oppositions, they're very experienced and very physically good, tactically smart. So I don't want to have a gap in the midfield from my team. So I've deployed players that they know, they understand, because it's what we've been doing the past 2 weeks. And I think it suits me very well.
And finally, Coach, before I let you go, we're almost halfway through the season, mind you, with a couple of games to go. How would you say you are faring in terms of your short-term goals that you set for yourself as a team at the beginning of the season?
I think a short term, we have achieved a little bit, I can say, because we managed to collect 17 points, managed to win 5, lost 4, and then draw 2 games. And with a young team like this, it's not something that we can expect that this far. So it was something that, okay, let's see where I can just end up before the first round ends, you see. So I'll say yes, I've achieved.
We take a look there, Ushamase, who has scored 4 goals so far, also on that starting lineup, Lulu.
And she comes fresh from Ibanyana Banyana because she was in that preliminary squad. She's playing attacking midfield, which means she'll be linking up with her twin sister, Pumelele Shamase, who's on the lineup today. And there's going to be a lot of interpassing, interchanging in terms of runs and all of that. And Mtandi today goes up top, which means coach is looking to have even more depth, more running off the ball and running down the defenders when it comes to attack, UJ. And Dineo, the experienced goalkeeper, also comes on today as the goalkeeper.
And of course, for Thunderbirds, they've been flying very high and are looking to make it 4 games unbeaten. I guess how is he planning to continue with this momentum?
Thunderbirds coach Thembeleta Pleni joins us now. Coach, ningena kulo mdlalo, you are unbeaten in your last 3 matches. Certainly a momentum you'll be looking to continue with. Kodwa futhi kuba nale inkinga ye break, ngiyazi ukuthi abanye bo coach bacabanga ukuthi into enhle, abanye bacabanga ukuthi akuyona into enhle kakhulu. Wena uzizwa kanjani ngalokho, coach?
In Xhosa we are saying ingqondo ayiqhathwa. This break will break our momentum. We wanted more games. A friendly game is unlike a serious game. So we are not for it. We are not supporting this break. We have been having a momentum, winning these 3 games. We wanted continuity, but now it's not going to work, this break.
But coach, namhlanje nina lithuba lokuthola amanye amaphuzu amathathu. How do you line up iqembu lakho namhlanje, and how do you ensure ukuthi niyawathola lamaphuzu against EUJ?
If history was working, we were going to use history. We have been playing well against UJ. They've beaten us once, but today is today's game. We're starting afresh, but we are here to play more offensive football. You will see when we attack.
And as you say, you will be playing more offensive football. Which are those key players that you'll be looking to rely heavily on in terms of that offensive play?
Yeah, our captain, Magwebebe Loli, and also Skabez Mkwanas on the right. And we have Nanasele, who have been scoring in the last games. I think 4 games in the last 2 games. We want to keep that record.
And finally, Coach Pamgo, I guess mhlambe goals and in the short term season lena. How are you guys faring in terms of achieving those short term goals? We are almost midway through the season now.
Yeah, this is the 3rd season, remember. But we had some teams that we have been targeting that they have beaten us in the last 2 seasons, but not this time. But 50% we have managed, but 50% we have failed. But we are getting there because no one will beat those teams for us. We are not relying on other teams to beat those teams on top. We have to fight.
Coach Apleni, they are also highlighting Nanasele, who has been able to score those consecutive braces.
Absolutely. It's the support play that speaks to Nanasele of Makwebeba and Mkonazi on the left and the right-hand side. When you look at the number of assists, 6 assists for Makwebeba. But when you also complement the formation, it's a 4-2-3-1 formation where they could pack in the midfield and dominate that midfield. Gumisa, who's really been very instrumental in running the line in the midfield, is certainly that player that is an unsung hero in this particular side.
Also very encouraging for Thunderbirds is the number of clean sheets that they've been able to amass, 4 in total there.
And the number of goals that they're also able to score, because they've scored 20 goals in total right now and only conceded 17. So they need to make sure on that end, they don't concede as much, because it will help them in the long run.
Absolutely. It is a battle of the two. Will it be Thunderbirds? Will it be the University of Johannesburg? We find out in just a few minutes.
The Roman Spitzoff put me in this outfit and now they want me to sing. No, wait, I'm a comedian. Can we just turn the music down, please? can I not just tell the people about the Savor Flavor range? Roman's Pizza is bringing the flavor, okay, with barbecue chicken, pepperoni, mushroom, margarita, ham and sweet delicious chicken. They're beefing up the flavor.
Get 2 large pizzas from the Savor Flavor range for only $144.90. Roman's Pizza. We deliver or you collect.
Just show the slow motion cheese pull. That's what's going to make them less.
We want the best for our families, so protecting them from illness-causing germs is no game. Why share germs when we can share precious family moments? That's why for generations we have trusted Dettol to protect our loved ones.
Making Dettol a part of every household is how you can make sure that you and your home are 99.9% protected from germs.
Which is why I use it in so many different ways to protect my family.
All I am is just a grain of rice, right? No, I am smiles at the end of bad days. The spirit of a wound. The celebration of life. I cook to perfection every time. I am more than just rice. I am tastic.
New Finish Quantum, our next dimension of cleaning performance. Removes dirt, degreases, and shines. New Finish Quantum, our ultimate clean and shine.
It's not like the good old days.
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 Stop parroting everything. Rather drink a Red Bull and think for yourselves. Since when are you dictating what we do?
Exactly. You're not the boss of us.
Tell it to the people. Well, individuality often complicates things.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Ongi slow poison. Ayo bayo. We are hampa. Bafethu mbize. Shoba fethu belelo. Shoba fethu kale lo bafethu.
We are chair summer 28. We're still alive.
Shout out to everybody that's nominated. Blow.
Keep watching SABC 1 Mzansi for sure.
Welcome back. Well, interestingly enough, when you look at the head-to-head stats between UJ and Thunderbirds, only one of those 4 matches has ended in a 1-1 draw. The other 2 matches have been won by Thunderbirds 1-0, and of course UJ has come out with a solitary 3-2 victory. So I want to find out from you, top-tier analysts here at the SABC, where do you think this match is going to sway? Is it going to be the side of the Orange Army, or is Thunderbirds going to walk away with a victory?
On paper, we are favoring Thunderbirds because of where they are on the log and how they've been scoring goals, because they've also got like Nana Sel in them that have been really on song, you know. So I could say a draw, and with goals though, or not, because they've only met 4 times. They've only produced 9 goals between the 2 of them, with UJ 4 and Thunderbirds 5. So yeah, a draw and maybe swaying towards Thunderbirds. They could pull a surprise.
All right, Gloria, we have Vumelana Nalo.
Me, I love Thunderbirds. Without a doubt, they should win this one. And I think their position is dominant in terms of being number 7. And I don't see a reason why they shouldn't make sure they get the 3 points.
All right, Gloria saying Thunderbirds will continue to fly high, and Usimpio Azizu saying it might end in a lovely draw. Well, it's now time for the action, the first 45 minutes. And in terms of commentary, Tulimia is standing by. It's Pio Mkonza kanye no Ray Kun.
And it's been another weekend of high-octane women's football here in the HWBSL Super League, with the league table truly starting to shape up as we finally arrive at the second of the Sunday's doubleheader, with the home side HWBSL seeking to get one over their mid-table compatriots, of course, Thunderbirds ladies. With only 2 points separating these two teams, Thunderbirds can easily go 5 points clear with a win today over the home side. But for HWB, it does present the chance for the ladies from Johannesburg to get nearer to that top 5 that so many teams still tirelessly work towards. The warmest of welcomes to you as myself, Simpiwe Mkonza and Tulimia greet you here from the HWB Soccer Stadium here in Soweto, where the pinnacle of local women's football shapes up and strides out for the final time this week. As we can see there, both outfits making their way onto the field. And it's been a long wait. It's been a 2-week wait in the HWBSL Super League, and we are finally back. And this time, this Sunday, the curtains close with HWBSL, the home side, locking horns, of course, with the travellers from the Eastern Cape, Thunderbird ladies. Thunderbird ladies, of course, in that red and black stripes, and HWB in the ever so famous and recognizable orange and black. It's a famous strip that they wear throughout. We'll just have to wait for those lineups, and here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Mtande starts up front once more. Shamase, Sikwesa and Musa, of course, makes up that midfield three, with Monasi and Rashelo being given that duty to defend Makugula's goal.
Thank you very much, Ray. With you, Jay, I spoke to the coach. He spoke about she wants to use a diamond setup. What's key in its application is an explosive transition with a lot of combination play in the midfield, in that midfield diamond. But what's important is the emphasis on organized rest defense out of ball position. So what's key is how you organize your team out of ball position, but how you offensively attack, because she wants the ratio of 3-2 in terms of when she attacks.
And just to look there at your officials today, the final coin toss for the two captains, of course. It's a game that they've both been eagerly anticipating for. Lindiwe Chamane, the lady in charge, the lady underneath the spotlight. The players were, of course, in song and voice before this encounter, trying to boost morale. But as we just have a glance over that Thunderbirds ladies lineup, not so much changes for the visitors, with Nanasele coming in with her place with 4 goals to her name, and Makwebaba, of course, also supplying her attack, and in the feature of attack, of course, with Twala and Ndungane providing support from the midfield, of course.
Thunderbirds normally use 3-5-2, but today definitely they've changed to 4-2-3-1 in absence of Amanda November. I think the approach from the coach today, he says he wants to be cautious, because there are uncertainties when it comes to his spine, because he feels that his spine is a new relatively spine, so he's playing his setup means he's going to compel to use the counter attack, because there are uncertainties in when it comes to Ununge no Makwebeba in that midfield.
Makwebeba, of course, 6 assists to her name. And of course, they're the coach, Anna Monate, of the home team, HWBSL. She spoke about the importance of the determination today, especially of her team coming back off a bounce of not being able to pick up 3 wins in the last 3 games. But in contrast, Coach Apleni must be more than happy with his side's recent form. Unbeaten in 3. The question is, will their impressive form end today, and will HWB perhaps start a new chapter of their season? Only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen, as we just wait for the kickoff. Referee Lindiwe Chamane making her final counts, of course. Nanesele leading the line for Thunderbird ladies and getting us started. Makwebaba here on the near side of the field, taking her time here, of course, as 3 o'clock is just a couple of seconds away here in Soweto. Of course, it is still cold here, ladies and gentlemen. The conditions haven't really warmed up, but nonetheless, it's conditions that are the same for both teams. So we'll just have to wait and see which team prevails at the end of the 90, as Chamane gives the green light, and play is underway here, and it's almost given away straight to HWB. But Thunderbird ladies come away with it with a decent start. Of course, it's the team from the Eastern Cape, and these two outfits have entered into this encounter, as I mentioned, on previous contrasting runs of forms. The home team are winless in their last 3 attempts, while Thunderbirds ladies have picked up 3 consecutive wins. So only 2 points separate these two teams, with so much to play for, and bragging rights most certainly up for grabs in that mid-table clash. UJFC were of course leading Thunderbirds ladies throughout the season when it comes to the table, but thanks to their recent upturn in form, Thunderbirds ladies have somehow injected new life and new energy into their seasons.
Fascinated by what the coach said for Thunderbirds. He said he wants to build a team that will compete against the top guns, the Sundowns, the Bloemfontein Celtics, the JVW. So we can see both teams are teams in transition. If you look at UJ, it's relatively a young team, and the coach spoke about the game that he wants to play. It's a high pressing game, and so it needs a younger player, energetic in relation to Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds are building a team, obviously it's in relation to the experience that they have. So both teams very contrasting side, but we're gonna watch a wonderful game between the two sides, because both teams are pushing for. I spoke to the coaches, they spoke about both of them. They want to finish on top 4.
3 points definitely high on the to-do list for both teams. UJ maybe more eager to get that win underneath their belt, lacking a win in their last 3 encounters, as I did mention. But what that does mean is that Thunderbirds ladies, as the ball trickles out to Ntsele, the goalkeeper for Thunderbirds ladies. Thunderbirds ladies win today will mean that they go 5 points clear of UJFC. So if there's anything that coach Anna Munate does not want, is that for this team, the visiting side, to go 5 points ahead of UJFC. And of course UJ want to eventually, come the end of the season, make their way into that top 5. And a win today will go a long way in doing so, as the captain now, Makwe Baba, gets the ball on that left flank. And maybe a little bit more deeper in her position, the left winger, helping out in defense. So maybe an early insight into this game that UJFC will probably have the largest share of possession. And maybe that's exactly what Thunderbirds ladies want.
But also importantly, Ray, you look at Thunderbirds, how they set up. I said it compels them to use counter-attack. How they sprung into counter-attack will be key. The principles of counter-attack need to apply to the team, because you can see when they drop the low to a low block, but it's a trap in its setup, because they want to obviously to be setting up that counter-attacking to attack.
The Birds from the Eastern Cape have won the last 2 meetings between these two sides. Both of those games did finish in a 1-goal win for the Thunderbirds ladies. So maybe UJFC will look to rewrite history, as Nana Sele gets taken down there, now hits the turf. Quite a hefty challenge for her to take early on in this encounter. A little tussle between herself and the centre-back Rasetlo. So early taste there of the studs for Nana Sele. Of course, the young striker, the young number 12, does have 4 goals to her name in this campaign. So she'll be hoping that she can definitely add to her tally. And better sooner than later. There's no better feeling for a striker to get an early taste of the goal, and perhaps to get an early goal. And Nana Sele will be most certainly hoping that she can do that, but she does require the service as the ball goes in. Doesn't quite dip in time, and Magugala, easy enough for her just to watch it over her crossbar. And it was merely 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, that UJFC managed to overcome this Thunderbirds ladies side. So definitely the visitors, Spiwe, the stats tell us, not only the stats, but the form as well, perhaps tell us that UJFC may just be playing second fiddle to the high-flying Thunderbirds ladies, but that can all change. A game of football tells so much more than just statistics.
I think head-to-head or in paper, you look, Thunderbirds a better side than UJ, but the game is played today. So obviously what's about to happen today needs a proper application with regards to how you want to win the match. But Thunderbirds advantage, because they're coming from a win, the tails are up high, with UJ coming from a defeat from TUT. So sometimes the mindset becomes a critical factor now when it comes to applying yourself. So this game, we expect it to two sides to have a go at each other.
And definitely there's two players for sure to watch out for in this Thunderbirds ladies lineup. I beg your pardon, the UJFC lineup. Shamase on that left wing playing alongside Mtandi. Those two have 7 goals in between them and a couple of assists as well, so do keep a close eye on those two individuals. Of course, Shamase did capture her opening goal of the season against Tsunami Queens. Tsunami Queens were in fact in action earlier on today and came up short against TUT. TUT definitely dominating that game throughout and allowing Tsunami Queens to maybe have a route back into the game, but nonetheless held on, and Tsunami Queens still make up the bottom of the table, that is the HWBSL Super League table, of course, as it's now worked around in the midfield. Shamase, the second Shamase in the team, of course, wearing the number 5, one in the midfield and one on the left wing, as Makobi tries to win it back for the home side. And well marshalled out, of course, by Konazi. The importance for this UJ team is perhaps to definitely, form does suggest, as I did mention, that the power does lie in the hands of Thunderbirds ladies, but you're at home, you're coming off a maybe a horrendous run of fixtures for UJFC, but there's no better place than home to rectify your form.
Definitely, but also we must consider the fact that the team, as I said earlier, it's a team in transition, a young relative team that still needs to develop in terms of the experience. But again, the game is the best teacher. There's no, you can't get experience from not playing. So the game is the best teacher. The younger players, you give them more game time. That's why they learn from. So, but I'm also fascinated with how the coaches are not happy with the 3 weeks break that they're going to be getting, because they feel that it's going to break their momentum, especially the Thunderbirds coach.
And a couple of passes strung together right there at the back for Thunderbirds ladies. UJFC applying the pressure and Nsele just helping the ball out there. UJFC now firmly in the half of the visitors from the Eastern Cape. Now Thunderbirds ladies with a throw in on the far side of the field. Looking for the striker there, Nana Sele. And the key importance is that for Nana Sele, she already has 4 goals to her name, especially against this UJ side. You're playing against the wounded animal. The importance of her role today is to not get too isolated and help out whenever required and not become too isolated up top for Thunderbirds ladies. As it comes now to the near hand touchline. Well marshalled out there, of course, by Kukumur, making her 3rd start in a row in left back, in that left back position for Thunderbirds ladies. And it's trickled all the way now to the back with 8 minutes gone. Still nothing to show between these two teams, still scoreless here in Soweto. It's a lovely backdrop, and you wouldn't expect on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, that the weather isn't quite as cold, but it is in fact very cold here. There's a little bit of a wind coming from the dam side here on the left-hand side of your screen. But as UJFC look to thread it through, keeping a close eye on that one and keeping the score 0-0 as UJFC really starting to apply the pressure in the opening stages here.
I think it's called the scanning. Sometimes we look at the quality of the team at the back. Are they comfortable enough? Can they play out of the pressure? So then that gives you an idea that we can press high. So UJ with the speed up front, you can see that they're setting up the passing lane traps to make sure at the time the ball is played, you see the orientation in terms of the pressing.
UJFC now working it out wide. Knocked back for Sikweza. Only 1 assist registered to her account this season. As it comes to Sikweza again, it might just be through from Mtani. Mtani is through. She chips it over the keeper, and it's goal time for UJ. Party time for UJ at home. I mentioned the importance of scoring as early as possible, especially on the run of form that they've been on. And what a time to score, and what a time to break the deadlock. Mtandi coming up with the goods here.
you'd expect a good. Musa was trying to give Mtandi an interplay pass in that situation. Luckily, it fell to Mtandi. I mean, you look defensive error in that situation because of the numbers. You see the numbers defensively also. This is what might happen at the back because the communication now players, because he's closer to the action, he thinks that one will also go. Lucky for Mtandi, the ball fell on her foot, and the rest is his determination.
Perfect start for the home team. Exactly what the doctor ordered, exactly what Mtandi would have wanted. And a beautiful finish from the striker, facing down the goalkeeper, and she might just have another chance here. As a shot goes in, almost creeping there into the near post there. Shamase having a crack there.
Asibonge ke kakhulu ke Ray ke bese ke simbingelele ke umbukeli ke ngasekhaya ke sisho sithi ke sila enkundleni ezase UJ Stadium ke eSoweto umdlalo ngaphansi kweHWBSL Super League uphethe ke iThunderbirds kanjalo ke neqembu ke elidlala ke ekhaya eUniversity of Johannesburg okuyona ke hamba phambili manje ngegoli ke elilodwa ke eqandeni elivalelwe phakathi omthandi nansi enye through ball kodwa lephakeme ke iflag ngapha ke likamsizi ka Nompepe kuthiwa ke sekukhona ke i-offside UJ ke ihamba phambili esina 10 minutes nje kuphela ke ebhodini yabona ke lo mdlalo oyathembisa ukuthi ke angathi ke sizowabona ke amagoli ngempela ke njengoba ke sibona nje elokuqala azisuka kodwa nayi ke free kick kuthiwa ke ayithathwe UJ umthandi futhi phezkwalo ke lebhola akumdlali ke ngempela ke oqavile kule qembu obalekile kakhulu uDr Mnandi
obalekile because off imoto uphethe imoto ushaya speed kakhulu but kule offside I think umsizi ngalompempe imgwinyile le situation.
Asibone ke le free kick Amanda Mthandi oyayiphakamisa iqonda ke emapalini kodwa ke iphuma nje kude ke kakhulu ke namapali yabona ke lamaqembu ke eza ke kulo mdlalo ke ngempela ke ngemuva ke kwe-break besuka ke kuyona kodwa ke inguquko ke bazenzile ngoba ke mawubheka ke iqembu ke leThunderbirds lize ke kulo mdlalo vele lihambela phezulu lishaye iVasco ngo 6-1 kodwa ke inguquko bazenzile zabantathu uyabona ke namhlanje ukuthi ke unomvuyo owawuqala umdlalo futhi washaya igoli lapho namhlanje bambeke ebhenchini ozoleka base benchini base ke befaka la ogxumisa abadlali ke abastrong abanejubane futhi asibone futhi ke nayo lelinye ithuba layo ke iUJ kodwa liyabaceza ke laphana ke ngakwesokudla yena ke uMukobi kanti ke noma ubheka futhi iUJ yona iza ke kulomdlalo vele iyaxhuga ilimele ishawe iTUT ngo-1-0 umqeqeshi wenze naye inqwaba yenguquko cishe ziyisithupha baqale emuva siphiwe epalini uzubone ngempela ukuthi ke ikhona inkinga kule qembu kodwa ke uyabona ukuthi ukhona umsebenzi abawenzile nje bakade beke ekhefini
uAna umqeqeshi weUJ ukhuluma indaba enkulu ukuthi i-team yakhe seyincane kakhulu Julie so bayidinga the experience yes sometimes but they don't take ama-loss very well abasakhula ubanikeza i-experience lama changes wenza because ufuna ukuthola leya combination azodlala ngayo azogadla ngayo kamnandi but basakhuluma ngeThunderbirds iThunderbirds Amanda November ke khona namhlanje dalizowubona nomzimba usitshela indaba ukuthi lewe baqale ngakhona kune handbrake approach abaqale ngayo namhlanje
uyabona ke iUJ ke iza ke kulomdlalo ke ihlezi laphana ke ku number 10 kwilokhi bana 17 points badlale ke 11 games kanti ke iThunderbirds yona ke ihlezi ke ku number 7 nabo ke badlale ke 11 games bana 19 points kodwa ke iThunderbirds ngempela ke moyibheka ke njalo mangabe ke ihlangene ke neqembu ke layo ke iUJ ijwayele ukuthi ngempela ke umdlalo ke igcine ke unqobile ngoba ke mawuhlehle nje ubheka ngesizini ka 2019-2020 umdlalo ke wokuqala ku first round iUJ yanqoba ngo 3-2 esabuya ku second round yanqoba iThunderbirds ngo 1-0 ngesizini edlule iThunderbirds inqobile ku first round ngo 1-0 base ke kuthi ke laphana ke kuyi second round umdlalo wasuphela ke ngedraw ka 1-1 asibone nje abelungisa nje abayo ke iThunderbirds enanasele waliveza kamnandi unikeza ke ucaptain uMagcobeza oyakuphakamisa uMagcobeza ibhola lakhe liphuma nje kude ke namapali ayo ke laphana ke University of Johannesburg
ngithanda indlela iThunderbirds ephuma ngayo from defense to attack bashaya imoto in terms of the speed and the precision in terms of ama-pass wabo. You can see ukuthi indlela yabo ukudlala i-directed kunanase unanase uyo protect ibhola ukuthi ama-player amsupport amjoin and then bathumela ama-numbers abo ucwebeba Gqumisa nomkhwanazi ukuthi bamjoine because most of the time abafuna ukumshiya ayedwa because she should be against 4 defenders I1.
Kokhona ke umdlali ke uhlezi phansi ke noma Thamsanqa sikweza awukapteni ke wayo ke laphana ke iUJ ke yena ke othintekile kodwa uyasukuma uyabuya uqhubeka nomdlalo unanasele umdlali lo bamthathe kuyona ke iCity Lets ngesikhathi kudlalwa ama-playoffs eThekwini Sasoli uyena ke wayebalwa nabadlali ababeshaya amagoli edlala kuCity Lets bamsayina bamletha la kuThunderbirds njengamanje uhlezi kumagoli ke amane uyabona ke namanje ukuthi amabhola amaningi Thunderbirds iwathumela ke phambili ngoba bayazi banomgadli osezingeni eliphezulu onamandla onejubane futhi ongalibheki ipala
akukho ukudlula loyo Thuli akanalanga lonke.
Asibone naye ke futhi ke iUJ ke iyangena ngakwesokudla ke uthanda ukubanikeza ke inkinga la uBrydin Amokobi kodwa ke kuzofanele ke basebenze ngokuzikhandla okukhulu kakhulukazi ngala ngakwesokunxele left back uyonela Khetho ngoba yabo lo hlangothi lesikudla la qhamuka khona uMokobi luthanda ukuthi lube ingozi kuyona iUJ.
Ithi ngoku ayinele bengisathi ngikhuluma ngoNanaso unayo height unabo ubude uyuza umzimba wakhe kahle kakhulu she can deal nama 1v1 kahle kakhulu so that is why she can play alone as a striker sometimes we target on how do you come out for it Thunderbirds to come out from defense to attack so umdlali omuhle kakhulu that can give you multifunctional roles lapha phambili.
Uyabona ke lo mdlalo ke owesibili ke la osukwini umdlalo esivuleke ngawo ke usuku lwanamhlanje bedlala ke iTshwane University of Technology edlala ke neTsunami Queens lo mdlalo ke upheleke ngo-1-0 onqoba ke yona ke TUT kanti ke izolo eminye ke imidlalo ke ebeyikhona Durban Ladies eshaye ke lapha iGolden Ladies ango 5-1 uyabona ke ukuthi ke ziyalunga izinto ke zeDurban Ladies omunye umdlalo ke iCeltic anayo ke iFirst Touch badlala ke idraw oka not bekwi-draw ayesithathu kuCeltic ka not njengoba ke kade ke bedlala ke izolo iCity Lets eqembu elisha kuyona ke iHWBSL Super League alidliwe izolo lidliwa ke iyona ke ima-Indies iyona ke imidlalo ebeyikhona ke le ngaphansi ke kwayo ke iHWBSL Super League njengoba ke lona ke kowokuvala ke usuku namhlanje asibone ke laba bafuna ke nanasele 27 years ayena ke onanasele ngesikhathi beshaya ke iVasco obekhona ke kulamagoli ke ayisithupha ke yashayiwe naye ke uphumene lakhe awubheke nje laphana ke ethi ke uyaliveza ke kamnandi lapha uThubelihle eShamase yabona ke la enkundleni kunoShamase ababili osiphumelele eShamase oThubelihle eShamase amawele lawa bana 20 bobabili badlalile under 17 na under 20 we-national team basuka ke laphana ke eHammersdale eThekwini futhi ke uThubelihle esquadini ebesibizwe uDesiree sokulungiselela ukuya eMorocco ubekhona ngeshwa ke wangabe ke esayenza ke ikhathi kulaba ke abagcine ke beya Morocco kodwa ngiyakutshela Dr Mnandi abadlali abahle ngendlela esimanga laba bobabili
ayikho endlula le ngesixhosa bathi itshala lamawele labo Shamase banesipiliyoni esigcwele Thuli and bayasebenza kakhulu uyabona ukuthi ku-UJ bayinika ama-dynamics wabo ukuthi abe mnandi in terms of defending and attacking it's very ihlala kahle lento yalitshala lamawele
abo babili ke bebedlala ke kwi-Sunflower laphana ke eThekwini kuSaso League yaseke ibasayina ke iyona ke iUJ ke asibone nje le throw kodwa ke ibhola ke laseke livinjwa iyabuya iUJ libuya manje ke naye lapha Musa eliphumela ke ngaphandle bayamnyathela ke laphana ke uShamase 20 years una 4 goals egameni lakhe nama-assist amabili jersey number 5 uShamase ke wayo ke iUniversity of Johannesburg ukapteni Magcwebeza ngena ngenkani ebhokisini kodwa ke wasemaka kahle kakhulu laphana ke emuva ke yena ke uAisha Musa ebhola ke lide lifuna umthandi lamthola umthandi uyalibiza uShamase ngena ke ebhokisini manje laphana ke umthandi akaphasi kodwa ke ibhola labuyela ke kuShamase uShamase waphasela izitha waseke phosela izitha wabuya nalo ke leliya bhola ke ukapteni yena ke usikweza othi ke uyaliveza kodwa ke ugoalkeeper emapalini uyalithatha lapha ziyandansele umthandi 26 years one experience yayo ke ibanyana umthandi ngoba ke unama caps ayisikhombisa le goli yakade elivalela ke phakathi elesithathu kuyona ke le season asibone nje lapha uShamase futhi ofuna ke Mokobi bamthathela ke yena ke Mokobi ilwina nje kalula lapha UJ ibhola omanje beke bathi ke balibamba kancane nje abe Thunderbirds eyabuya iUJ bese ke ilwine ilibambe bese ke iyadlala nangethi nompempe akube ke ifree kick enikezwa iyona futhi ke iUJ njengoba ke manje sihlanganisa 20 minutes ebhodini nakho la bemnyathele khona asiphumelele Shamase kodwa ifree kick enikezwa iUniversity of Johannesburg.
And with 20 minutes gone, the lead is still in the hands of UJFC as Mtande sneaks there around in the back post. Smooth operator up front for UJFC. Working well in combination with Mokobi and Shamase. Adopting that 4-3-3 formation did Anna Monate, and it's a formation that most attacking teams do usually tend to turn to, and it's a formation that definitely has a reliance on possession-based football, and possession in the midfield is definitely that's something that UJ have dominated in the opening 20 minutes, and Thunderbirds Ladies FC really struggling to keep up with the home side, it has to be said. And form only tells half the story, and it's UJFC that haven't chose to rest on their laurels, and she might just have another crack here. Shot on goal and snuffed out and eventually blocked by Lele. Taking a heavy blow to the face there. An attempted long ball caught flush in the face. It's not exactly what you want to see, nor experience if you are a player yourself. Quite a heavy blow, and it can sting, Spiriam Gonza.
Definitely on the face. I mean, also she was on guard in that situation. If you look at it, she was surprised by that shot. She never thought that she would try to relocate the ball from this side to the other side. So it's an unfortunate situation, but these things happen. It's the name of the game. And I've been saying that, unfortunately for defenders, even if the ball hits you wherever, you need to stand up and carry on.
And you're a warrior. You do definitely need to become somewhat greater than yourself. A warrior on the pitch is needed for UJFC in that heart in the defense, of course. And stern faces, onlookers of both these teams. The goalkeeper there, Ntele, trying to motivate and inspire some of her teammates. And it has to be said, this Thunderbirds Ladies FC team isn't exactly the team that we've witnessed in the previous 3 games. For some reason, the confidence levels aren't quite exactly there. I know, despite the fact you've conceded an early goal, it's so crucial not to let that opening goal infiltrate your mind and allow you to neglect the basics that you've been learning. As UJFC operate there at the back and losing out eventually. Some pressure applied there by Thunderbirds Ladies FC. The home team have, of course, slowly started to fall down that league table and now occupy 10th after yesterday's results of fixtures. So in order to cement their position in that top 10, a performance and a result is paramount for this home team today, wearing that orange and black. And there's no better time to pull off a very good victory against the high-flying Thunderbirds Ladies FC team. And what this win will do is that it'll notify a lot of teams in the division and tell them, listen, UJFC aren't quite exactly out of the picture just yet. We might be in 10th position, but we could easily sneak up behind you whenever that chance is there. As the corner goes in from Thunderbirds Ladies, all the way to the back post and missing everyone in the box. Mtandi escapes with it and starts the attack from deep. She scored 2 goals previously to this game, now adding to her count 3 goals to her name in the HWBSL Super League. UJFC, another player down for the home team, another player maybe taking a knock to the ribs there.
You spoke about the very important aspect, I mean, the consistency. I think sometimes it really relies on two issues, Ray. One, obviously, the psychological aspect of the players in terms of the application, game to game, it differs game to game. But also, maybe the team, constant change of the team in terms of the core itself, sometimes it affects the consistency. So it really relies so much on those two aspects.
Two previous results for UJFC were losses on the road against UWC in Cape Town and of course TUT. So they are back at home and they do find themselves in familiar conditions, and boy oh boy have they missed it. There's a potential chance here, but she's kept on her toes. Nsele does very well for the Birds there and escapes away with it. So important for a goalkeeper to be very aware of the fact that a long ball can be easily put through and you do need to exit your goal line so quickly.
Modern keepers can manage the space behind the defense very well. I thought Nsele in that situation, coming out, the timing of coming out was critical. That's why she was able to get there before Mtandi.
Shamase with a cross-field ball there. Now trying to close down the space, close down the room, granted to Twala. And it's the midfield battle that is currently being won by UJ, getting a larger share of the possession, of course. As Mokoena operating there on the left flank. Mtandi once more, but Mtandi is in fact offside. The flag does go up. A good choice there, Mtandi.
You spoke about the important point, definitely an offside, a good call from the assistant. The midfield 3 versus 3 situation, but now with UJ the principles are different. Mtandi will drop into the center to create a 4v3, then that allows them to keep ball position because of there's a spareman concept. So it's all about the principles. The 3 versus 3, you need to tweak the principles. So you see Mtandi every time UJ 3 versus 3 in the center, Mtandi drops into the center because she's got the speed to run behind the defense.
Drop ball there for UJ and they go long. Mtandi once again trying to feed off the scraps that Thunderbirds ladies have offered her. And a wonderful finish from the young striker. It's almost symbolic and exactly what a striker should do in that position. She kept her cool and effortlessly helped it over the goalkeeper Nsele, who was helpless in that situation. Mtandi once again finding herself offside 2 times in quick succession, and a clap there. We don't see it there, but it is a correct decision, and Anna Monate definitely acknowledging that.
Definitely, it's a good call. It's a good call. I thought Mukobi was on an offside position.
Thunderbirds ladies do definitely come into this fixture with a 6-1 win, a 6-1 thrashing of Vasco da Gama. So that's why I'm questioning the confidence levels and currently the performance levels of this team. But that can all change. They did win that game 6-1, so anything can happen in a game of football, of course. But Coach Tembaletu Apleni must rather be scratching his head and wondering where exactly his players are going missing here in the opening exchanges. It's UJFC that are winning all those minor battles. We spoke about the midfield battle, but also there on the flanks. So much space is being granted to Mtandi and Mokobi, but Mtandi, although we usually tend to bash Thunderbirds ladies for granting the space, Mtandi is well aware of where these spaces are, where the half spaces are, and where she needs to operate to find those goals and assists.
I think there's an overload with regards to how UJ are setting up on the sides. Shamase on the left with Mukwena, and on the right they have Umashiro, no Mukovi. So those overloads are effective, especially when they're out of ball position. But when they're in ball position, you'll see Mukovi tucking in or inverting inside with Shamase to give more strength in the attack.
Thunderbirds ladies are in fact only 3 points behind JVW, and just like UJFC, JVW have undergone somewhat of a downturn in form, but they have played some fewer games less than most teams. Some teams are definitely starting to appear in the rear view mirror of that third place JVW team. So they'll be definitely hoping to watch their backs when they return to action here in the HWBSL Super League. As it's helped forward now, Thunderbirds ladies finally venturing forward, maybe for the first time in this game, really with some impetus. It has to be said, it's definitely been lacking in their play, the aggressive nature that we saw in that 6-1 win over Vasco da Gama.
I spoke about the mental application or psychological application from game to game differs, Ray, and different game, every game presents different challenges. So you can see Thunderbirds come from 6-1 win, but now you can see the body language is giving you something different. There's a messaging in how the players have applied themselves. So it differs. It depends on the game. So the consistency, it's something that it works very well with the mindset.
And with a half an hour coming and going, the score is still 1-0 in favor of the home team, and it's exactly what they would have wanted pre-match.
Uyabona ke ungabi khona ke kwakhe la uNovember ushilo ke usiphiwe ukuthi uNovember ke akekho. Yabonakala ngempela ke kule qembu ke layo ke iThunderbirds ukuthi uNovember akekho. Uzokhumbula ukuthi ke uNovember awuthole ke ired card ngesikhathi ke iThunderbirds eshaya ke iyona ke iCall City Wizards ngo 3-2 kulo mdlalo ke wathola ke ired card yena ke uNovember. So lakho ke kuyasho ukuthi ke usakwi suspension yena ke uNovember, njengoba ke nangomdlalo ke odlule obengekho ke ngesikhathi ke beshaya ke iyona ke iVasco da Gama ngo 6-1. Uyabona ke AUJ ngempela ke iyawudinga ke lo 3 points ukuze ke bazobuyela ke ikona ke ukuzothemba, ngoba uzokhumbula abagcine kudala ukuwina, ikakhulukazi ke njengoba ke bedlala ke ekhaya. Ewini yabo ke bagcine ke ukushaya ke iDurban Ladies babeyidla ke ngo 2-1 beyidla lapha ke ekhambeni. Umdlalo ke wawuseThekwini eClermont. Emva kwalokho badlale ke idraw nayo ke iCity Ladies abadliwa uWC ngo 2-1 njengoba ke bephinde ke badliwa ke iyona ke iTUT ngawo ke u1-0. Namhlanje bayafuna ke ukuthi babuye ke lapha babuye ke bawine iyona ke imidlalo the Orange Army bazibiza ke kanjalo. Esingini ke esecenter khona ke sinathemba Thwala awuthwala unikeza ke lapha umkhwanazi oyakhuza ke unompempe Lindiwe Chamane okhuza ke yena ke lapha ke usiphumelele oShamase lapha ke ngakwesokunxele njengoba kuthiwa ke alibekwe phansi ke nayi ne yellow card eyokuqala asiphumelele Shamase. Awunegoli ke elilodwa ke kuyona ke iUJ ke kule season. Yellow card ke yokuqala ke uma yomdlalo oyalisusa ke lapha ke emuva Esther Ndo eyalithatha iUJ kodwa ke alibuye ke eliphoswe iyona futhi ke iUJ bayaliphosa. Asibone manje ke nangu futhi umthandi waphuma ugoalkeeper nakamqeda umthandi goalkeeper lapha yabhakuzi nethi egoli lakhe lesibili lomdlalo elesihlanu ke kuyona ke isizini. Amanda Mthandi 26 years waphuma wathi qekelele wamdoba ugoalkeeper wayesa ugoalkeeper wafika wamjika wamqeda waseyenza nje umsebenzi ke ukuthi ke ubelula walibeka phakathi igoli beyikuphi defense yeThunderbirds.
Undo wenze iphutha elikhulu kakhulu lapha because umusa udlalela ibhola behind the defense. Undo uthe uyacleara Thulile lamshaya isandla izomstressa lento makayibona from slow motion, but again let's let's give credit kumthandi la bheka uround ayikhipha kamnandi kanjani and bheka igoli lokuqala ukuthi limnike confidence kanjani manje i1 on 1 udila nayo kahle uround ikhipha hayi sekakwazi nokucelebrate uthe UJ dala yagcina ukuwina bheka ke manje seba celebrate kamnandi kanjani
uyabona ngempela kuyabuya ukuzethemba akuyona ke iUJ ke umthandi eshaya ke igoli ke lesibili akuwona ke lo mdlalo Shamase ngale ke ngakwesokunxele bayiqala ke emuva ke abayo ke iUJ awoyitumelo Rasihlo awajika kamnandi laphana ke usikweza awujika uyayiveza isikweza waseke evimba ke laphana ke unxele emuva ayiphutha elenziwe ke uyena uNdo angeke aze ke alikhohlwe ngempela wanikeza nje umuntu oyinkinga ibhola ke shiya ke kumthandi ingakho ke belandele emuva ke ngo2-0 manje i-throw in bamhlanganyela wadlala kabi ukapteni omagcwebeza Nompepe uthi ke alibekwe phansi ke ibhola ke kube ke i-free kick nangu Estando othi ulifaka isicathulo ibhola lavele lashayisa esandleni sakhe lahlangana nje anomthandi waround ugoalkeeper walibeka phakathi lihle igoli lakhe uAmanda Mthandi esingini ke sesenta khona Musa oyabuya manje ke laphana ke magcwebeza ofuna nanasele oyaphuma no goalkeeper kodwa ke ukhona ke laphana ke emuva omunasi wayidlala ke ngaphakathi lingozi le bhola kodwa ke nayi iphuma nalo kahle iyona ke iUJ bafuna umthandi wabuya wazolanda umthandi akasaphasi ke naye ngoba naba ke phambi kwakhe nangu nompempe kodwa kuthiwa uyena futhi ufaka indololwane usene confidence kakhulu usefuna ukwenza yonke into kuyena yedwa
ukuzithemba sekavula istokfela manje uyabona ukuthi eksebumnandini la labantu siyabagibela siyayicela siyayihlaba but to into important I'm happy ukubona i-team kaAnamnandi iqala ibhola ngasemuva ngokuzithemba basabi lutho uyabona ukuthi ba brave mabadlala bayazi ukuthi bayenzani
omusa nange liphakamisa ibhola laseke liyabuya ke lihlangana ke naye ke manje amashikho kodwa ke laseke liphumela ke ngaphandle yabona ke njengoba ke enamagoli ke amahlanu manje yena ke Amanda Mthandi kusho ukuthi ke bathathu abadlali ke abana 5 goals ngoba ke noKananelo Dayiwe weRichmond una 5 goals orifilwe Mukwena okapteni walo leqembu ke iUJ namhlanje akekho oshilo umqeqeshi ukuthi ke ulimele naye futhi ke unamagoli amahlanu uthini ke manje ke unompempe
awuthi makushintsha ibhola linamoya
nange ebuya ke nelinye ke ibhola ke laphana ke ugoalkeeper Adinewo Magagula goalkeeper ke wayo ke iUniversity of Johannesburg Nunke oyabheka uNunke ufuna nanasele liyamceza ibhola nanasele lahamba ke la yakuyena futhi ke uMagagula uyabona ke laphana ke emuva ke oMagagula akuthi ke badlala nje ngokukhulu nje ukuzethemba amagoli amabili abanikeze nje ukuzekhulu ukuzethemba abavele bazinza manje emidlalweni abekho amatata obheke nje ulibeka phansi kamnandi kanjani ke ukapteni osikweza waphasa kahle ufuna uShamase bamthola uShamase ngakwesokunxele wadlula uShamase onikeza manje ke uMkwena asibone manje ke uMkwena kodwa wahluleka ke ukugoba ahluleka ke ukugoba ke yena ke uMkwena bayaliphosa uShamase uyalanda manje nanke manje ke zama ukulishintsha ke nenkundla yalithatha iUJ onompempe waphinda futhi wakhuza ke wathi ke bayaphusha laphana ke emuva ke abaqale phansi edefense esenkingeni ke iyayo ke la iThunderbirds ngoba umthandi noShamase abadlali ke abagijimayo kanti mawubheka bakhulile ke laphana ke olungelo onxele 37 years kule ya defense ke yayo ke iThunderbirds uyabona ke babuya nalo bafuna manje ke yena ke laphana ke Mukobi oyavimba Estando Nxele ladliwa ngesithende kodwa isithende asindawo asibone manje ke umnyakazo ke wayo ke iThunderbirds onanasele uyalivala baphezulu kwe-D-line manje baliveza kamnandi bafuna ke yena laphana ke uMagqobeza oyalithatha ugoalkeeper kalula nje umnyakazo bowumuhle bekuthembisa manje mangabe beya phambili.
I think the 2 goals he forced Thunderbirds now to change in the approach in terms of stress on the ball, how quickly they press UJ, because they can see what UJ they are comfortable to Mawalpete. You can see ball pass out in the situation, playing out of pressure. So now we can see now a change of mindset. Good Thunderbirds, good time. Manchester Pagi Kurash, Bangasapumgula situations now.
Asibone ke uyena futhi ke uShamaze nangeliveza onikeza ke udade wabo uyena futhi ke uShamaze nangeliphamisa lapha eceleni kwepali technique beyiyinhle ethi ulibhalela phakathi noma Thamsanqa sikwenza umnandi ukapteni we-UJ uyadlala ibhola.
Lalela le uphethe Marinate uphethe uSawoti uyambona ukuthi le role yakhe ayidlala sibizi deep lying playmaker le role yakhe mangayibheka kahle Julie she comes late in that situation uzoshaya isigubhu lapha unlucky in terms of ukuthola itarget but ubheke ukuthi how she dictates itempo ne-intensity ye-UJ.
Kosele 5 minutes ukuthi ke siye ekhefini 2 UJ and not Thunderbirds.
With 5 minutes to go, the answers are definitely in the hands of EUJFC. Holding all the cards here. And Thunderbirds Ladies FC, of course, having to change their style of play and having to input some more energy into their play as the final 5 minutes of the first half approaches. Quite a stinging tackle there on Mkwanazi. Difficult one to take for the young striker. And after their 5-1 humiliation against log leaders, the team from the Eastern Cape have rallied and won 2 grudge matches in a row. The first being that 3-2 win over Coal City Rovers, and then that 6-1 thrashing, of course, against Vasco da Gama. And Kwanazi still down. So Thunderbirds Ladies, a man short here as we approach the final exchanges of this first half, and could perhaps change that half-time team talk with a goal now, and a perfect chance to change that. But orange wig worn there in support of the home side, it must suggest. And definitely some more supporters in attendance here to support their home side. Much needed home support for this UJ team, and they've definitely profited off of all that. Mtandi helping herself to her 2nd goal of this game. Definitely getting the crowd off their feet in these cold conditions. But centre back Ndou almost obnoxiously kicking the ball against her hand and waiting to pounce. Mtandi helping herself to a 2nd goal in this game. Munasi out. Back to Ele. Now to the right-hand side. Out again once more by Rasetlo. Firmly in the midfield. Well gathered and well dealt with by Musa. She's been working well in combination with Sikweza. Those two are definitely the 2 pivots in the midfield. They do help the ball to tick along and play almost that quarterback role in the team. And whenever the ball passes through them, it's the main avenue is through the number 12, Sikweza.
It's true. Everything goes through her. You can see how she comes to play, how she dictates and regulates the intensity and the tempo.
Chance here on the near side of the field, almost hopping on through there, Mukobi. Yeah. And out of the front 3, she's been the most quiet for UJFC, but that is exactly the story. Maybe doing the unseen work so that Mtandi can shine up front, but it's back now. A little of a penalty shout there, but Musa helps it along to the far side of the field now. An attempted shot there, fake shot there. It might just be in your UJFC. It's lovely interplay And the goalkeeper eventually gets her hands on that one, and Sele.
Also, we must commend the UJ side. They look a team coached, and you can see as young as they are in terms of the age, but you can see that they are well coached. But to sum up the first half, I think with regards to Thunderbirds, they need to apply what I call a ball orientating pressing or counter press. Distress the ball more aggressively now. Try to win the ball in the higher areas to make sure that immediately winning the ball, try to attack from those situations. With UJ, we are 2-0 up, try to maintain ball position more, but obviously attacking moments. Don't now, because you need to have a rest defense when you attack, because already as much as you are 2-0 up, but you also want to protect that 2-0 lead, but attack in moments now.
Definitely so much to ponder for Thunderbirds Ladies FC. All the way back now with 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes stoppage time has been added. And it's once again that forward ball missing out there. Ndoum Tandi getting a glimpse of what a hat-trick might feel like. And she is on a hat-trick. She has scored 2 goals in this first half. Still 45 minutes to go. Tandi will be licking her lips at the prospect of getting a hat-trick. And definitely an early shout for a man of the match in this game. Comes now to the near side of the field now. And it has to be said, Munasi, the number 3 there, the lady with the headband, has put in a really good shift in defense for UJFC, especially from the long ball. She seems as if she can get her head on whatever ball seems to cross her path.
The compensation between the 2 centre backs. I mean, if you look at Racelo, she used to be a striker. She's converted to a centre back, but she's fitted very well in that centre back role. But the compensation, centre back shouldn't be the same. Like I said, it's positive and negative. One needs to be able to be more aggressive, deal with those multifunctional, decisive defensive actions. But now Racelo is more calmer. She plays the ball out of play. She breaks the line with the means of passing long and short.
As you mentioned, there's fewer contrasting styles. One of the more orthodox and robust defensive work, the other more ball-playing kind of defender. Munasi definitely doing the dirty work there in defense, and so solid at the back and keeping that clean sheet for UJFC so far. Mokobi now, back to Musa. Musa looking for Mokobi, finding Mashego. She looks to square it now, Mashego. Maybe just waiting for a touch there from the defender. Potentially she was hoping for a touch and to go down in a penalty.
She was anticipating a tackle from Keto. She thought Keto was going to make a tackle in that situation with the view of, I'm going to jump, I'm going to evade that tackle. Unfortunately, Keto stayed on her feet.
And now with a couple of seconds to go in this first half, it's UJFC firmly in the driving seat. And Thunderbirds ladies with it all to do in the second half. And there's the confirmation. Referee Lindiwe Chamane brings an end to a blistering first half here in Soweto. And a first half that has seen 2 goals from their main marksman, Mtandi. 4 goals to her name now this season. And Thunderbirds ladies came into this game with so much confidence, now make their way back into the change room with so much questions to ponder. But just a confirmation of the score there. It's 2-0 to the home side, University of Johannesburg, against the Travellers from the Eastern Cape. Thunderbirds ladies, thanks to that Mtandi goal in the 10th and the 31st minute. But some statistics for you there, clearly dominated by University of Johannesburg. 59% of the ball for UJ and 6 shots on goal to 2 of the Thunderbirds ladies. So it is all UJFC in the first half, and thanks to the 2 goals from Mtandi, they find themselves in a relatively comfortable position, but still with some football to be played. But for now, it's to you, Visiwe.
Well as the rest of our commentary team as we come to an end of the first 45 in this encounter between UJ and Thunderbird ladies. At the moment, it is the Orange Army that lead by 2-0 going into the half-time break, really having a solid performance. Coach Anna Munati spoke about how they wanted to use this game to get back into winning ways, and as things currently stand, they are comfortably in the driving seat and well on their way to 3 points. It is now the half-time break, so Coach Apleni has got an opportunity opportunity to speak to his troops and see how they can start answering some of those questions which are being asked by UJ. It will also be interesting to see how Coach Apleni approaches the second half and what changes, if any, he will be making to his team as he looks forward, of course, to this mountain that they have to climb in the second half. That's how we wrap it up here at the stadium for the moment. We take you through to an ad break and then some halftime analysis thereafter. Stay tuned.
We're switching to renewable electricity. To brew this, that means more electricity for game time and showtime. They get more electricity. Yo, I can't, my boy. And everyone gets less of these. Hey, what the? Because we're using less electricity from the grid, there's more for this, more for them, and all of us. Switch to renewable. Switch to Castle Light.
All I am is just a grain of rice, right? No, I am smiles at the end of bad days. The spirit of Ubuntu. The celebration of life. I cook to perfection every time. I am more than just rice. I am tastic.
I don't know about you, but I know what I want. I want to be entertained. I want to be thrilled. All of the jets. I want excitement. I want options. Variety. I want it today, tonight, tomorrow. I want it all. That's why Hollywood Bets.
With Handy Andy, you're not just cleaning a set of wheels, an old braai stand, or a drum kit. Underneath those dirty surfaces, there's a lot to be uncovered. Bring the things you love back to life with the cleaning power of Handy Andy.
You wouldn't ignore this, so why do we ignore swollen gums? New Meridol toothpaste with stannous ions and amine fluoride instantly fights the cause of swollen gums and protects from gum problems. Meridol helps fight the cause of gum problems.
New Advanced Shield, now with 72-hour non-stop protection. The more you move, the harder it works. Try New Shield, now with 72-hour non-stop protection.
We want the best for our families, so protecting them from illness-causing germs is no game. Why share germs when we can share precious family moments? That's why for generations we have trusted Dettol to protect our loved ones.
Making Dettol a part of every household is how you can make sure that you and your home are 99.9% protected from germs.
Which is why I use it in so many different ways to protect my family.
Go beyond work with faster internet. Open your world to non-stop play, streaming, and inspiration. Bring ideas together. Bring the family closer. Unlimit your world with fiber to your home from $4.49 per month. Dial 10213, click telcom.co.za or go to any Telcom shop.
your job. Yes, ma'am. Then where are my reports?
Little bit apple, good.
Volkswagen.
Welcome to the Summer 28. Shout out to everybody that's been nominated for the Summer 28.
Shout out to the Summer 28 for bringing us out. Ukuthi sibela namhlanje. Yeah, shout out to HWBSL.
Let's mapara jazz.
Yeah, you watching HWBSL Mzansi for sure. Summer 28 we here. Let the best win. Tango.
Keep watching HWBSL Mzansi for sure.
Did you max out your life savings to pay for e-holiday yakhe while she dated someone else? Did you spend all your money looking after his children only for him to marry someone else? Were you so fooled by love or exploited by the one you loved? What's your story and how crazy did it go? Ungasabi, sitshela istori sakho. Send us a WhatsApp on 067 090 0698 or email fooledbyLove@tabemedia.com. Coming soon on SABC1.
Ooh.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. The first stanza has come to an end, and it is UJ who are in the driving seat. They lead 2-0 against Thunderbirds. This is the same UJ side that came into this encounter on the back of a 3-match winless run, taking on a Thunderbird ladies that was coming into this encounter on the back of a 3-match unbeaten run. So it truly is amazing. I'm Oli Zondo, still joined by Usimpiwe Lulu, no Gloria Brown. It truly is something for the books. You know, you had spoken about a draw, you know, either going to the Thunderbird side, but UJ really has come out in full force.
Yeah, I spoke towards a draw or a win for Thunderbirds because of what was on paper. And right now, UJ, I think they've stepped up because of the formation that they have down, the types of players that they've lined up today, totally different from what they played against ETUT in that 1-0 loss. So that tells you they had a lot to improve. This is Aisha Musa, who's been very instrumental in this midfield with combining, you know, Sigwe Zautami and also Utubeli Shamasi. Mtandi again is back at the top instead of the right winger that she played in the last match against CUT, and she was there to make sure that she capitalized and scored this prolific goal.
Coach, when you look at that as well, you're also looking at the defense of Thunderbirds that had pushed up a little and opened up, which was not really necessary at that time, and then allowing for Amanda Mtandi to capitalize on the mistake that they've made as they were pushing up. But then again, I think the players also believed that UJ was there for the taking, building up on their previous performances. And this is what we say, you're only as good as your last game. Coaches are learning, they're doing their homework, and you could see that Ndo and Ntlele were found wanting as Amanda Mtandi just dissected that run between the two defenders.
And talking about errors, we saw that in defense in terms of Estando, which led to the brace Amanda Mtandi that we saw in the 33rd minute.
Again, you're seeing a ball coming through from young Aisha Musa in the middle of the park. And again, the keeper came out to try and narrow the angle. But the intelligence of Amanda Mtandi to eliminate the goalkeeper, create space, and to score from a tight angle proves the experience of a player who once played abroad. But this is unlucky for the defender there, Ndo, for the ball to hit her hand. And she's really besides herself.
And that space is created by the high press that Thunderbirds is pushing. When you're playing away, you want to be cautious a bit. They're pressing too high, which means there's going to be a lot of space behind. Undo, Unele, they are staying, but Ukito pushes up high, which means they are left with 3 at the back. They're not compact enough, or they don't drop to kill that depth behind. That's why that goal came that easy. Ubano Funi space behind the defenders. Mtandi is more than happy to do that. Uspumelele Shamas is more than happy to get that space and capitalize. That's how we got those goals.
Of course, the brace from Amanda Mtandi now takes her to 4 goals now for this season. And it was a rare save from Umakakula. You know, she hasn't had to have a save so far, but it's something that did come through.
Well, yes, you're also seeing UJ pushing the ball out, knocking it about and trying their luck from distance, because they stay there to ensure that they try everything that they've been practicing in training. That was a nicely well-taken drive. You can see from distance with confidence. And again, these are the kind of matches where you need to learn how to take those drives, because if you don't do it, you're never going to know. But I think Anna Mnati's worked very well and capitalized on the fact that Amanda November, who's instrumental to this team, as we see a very tame shot being taken there by Thunderbirds, she's really the missing link that is the cog that allows Thunderbirds to play their game.
Yeah, Xoli, it's going to be a bit hard for Thunderbirds, but they need to push in the second half.
Absolutely, they need to push, and we're just going to find out in terms of substitutions, what can they do in terms of Thunderbirds to make sure that they get into the game. There's still 45 minutes to play, so really a point can be salvaged, or even the maximum 3. Let's take a quick ad break. We'll return with more.
Do you ever think of what your skin goes through every day? In game time and playtime. Dove Men Plus Care protects and cares for your skin with 48-hour protection and triple action moisturizer.
Go beyond work with faster internet. Open your world to non-stop play, streaming, and inspiration. Bring ideas together. Bring the family closer. Unlimit your world with fiber to your home from $4.49 per month. Dial 10213, click telkom.co.za or go to any Telkom shop.
Enjoy responsibly. Not for persons under the age of 18. For the last 2 years, something was missing. Someone was missing. We missed you because it's your voice that fuels the day. It's your anticipation that is the charge in the air. You are the electricity in the grandstands, the life of the party, and that irreplaceable energy along the guardrails. Here are the 2 words we've been waiting over 2 years to say. Welcome back. Welcome back to new beginnings, to writing new stories in bold, new colors. The Hollywood Bets Durban July, Saturday the 2nd of July at Hollywood Bets Greyville. Welcome to a new age.
Asibonge ke kakhulu ke e-studio ke kuwena ke Xoli osimpiwe kanjalo ke eno Gloria Brown sithatha ke intambo esombe ke esesibili la e-UJ Soweto Stadium. Sibona ke ushintsho aloqala ke lwenziwa ke iyona ke la i-UJ bayamkhipha manje ke uBrydini Mukobi, indawo yakhe ke ithathwa ke uyena ke laphana ke uShannon okuyilona ke shintsho olwenziwa ke uyena ke Anna Monade Shannon Makhomo oyena ke ongena ke vele ke isombe ke soqala ubengabonakali kahle ke yena ke uMokobi, kodwa ke sizobona ukuthi isombe ke sesibili ke sihamba ke kanjani njengoba ke siye ke khefini UJ ke ebehamba ke phambili ngamagoli amabili ke eqandeni avalelwe phakathi ke uyena ke Amanda Omthandi evalela phakathi ke ibrace kulomdlalo ohlezi phansi ke la usiphumelele eShamase awuthintekile kodwa ke uzosukuma njengoba ke bengena ke bezombheka nange la ethinteke khona ke usiphumelele oShamase kodwa ke siphiwe nalo ushintsho eqembu elihamba phambili ilona ke elenza uguquko kokuqala bakhipha ke uBrydini Mokobi bafaka uShenoni uAnna Munate.
I think Mukobi didn't have a good first half in terms of when they pressed because they wanted to press in the front three, but now to put a stress on the ball. Mukobi synchronization yake, especially on the right hand side, being against UJ in terms of his strength when it comes to pressing, but also offensively, he's got the pace, he's got the attributes. They play Limna and Mara. For this game in terms of the application, Ustagrega cool. I think Ushincho Oberbalege Alenzo Anamnat.
Asasike ukuthi namhlanje njengoba ke iThunderbirds isekulomdlalo idlale ke imidlalo emihlanu ingayazi ke iyona ke laphana ke induku kanti ke iyona ke iUJ eza ke kulomdlalo ke ngempela ke emithathu abayidlalile banamaluzi amabili nedraw eyodwa ukuthi ke namhlanje ke bazobuya yini endleleni ke zokuthi ke banqobe imidlalo ngoba ke bayawadinga ngempela ke amaphuzu uzokhumbula ke nangesizini edlula ukuthi iUJ yaqeda ke ilaphana ke ku number 9 eThunderbirds yaqeda ke ngaphezulu kwabo eqeda ke kuyena ke o number 7 esizini ke entsha asazi ke ukuthi ke kwenzakalani nanguShamase oyibuyisela ke laphana ke emuva onikeza ke yena ke Munasi bazama ke lo oqeda ke ngena ke manje oShenoni Maqhomo ebhola kodwa ke liyamphunyuka nayi ke manje ithrow in banikeza captain uBongiswa Magcwebeza left back egqoka number 10 ayonela Keto eqenjini ke layo ke iThunderbirds Nxele alishintsha ke kamnandi kodwa ke liyabashiya nje bonke abayo ke iThunderbirds liphumela ke ngaphandle bebefuna ke uNontobeko Mkhwanazi Shamase lasala ngemuva ibhola enyaweni ke zakhe ke Shamase banikeza Nunge ayaphinja ibhola libuyela kuyena futhi ke uNunge oyaqhatha ke uNunge kodwa ke uNompempe uyakhuza okhuza ke uShamase kuthiwa ke bamdlalise kabi ke laphana ke ukhuthazwa Nunge oshaya igoli ke ngesikhathi ke bedlala ke neVasco da Gama free kick maphakathi ke nenkundla kuthiwa ke akube ke elayo ke iThunderbirds lungisa udonga lwakhe ugoalkeeper Dinewo Magagula bayishiya ke no Esther Ndo ebhola ke nali ke liyawa ke laphana ke singini ke ese-center eliyabashiya ke bonke uyena ke uShamase olkhiphele ke ngaphandle othiwa ke alibuye ke kuzoba ke ibhola ke elayo ke University of Johannesburg bamdlalise kabi uMusa uyadlala ke uCaptain Sikweza labuyela kuyena ke laphana ke uCaptain Sikweza hayi labalahlekela ibhola esibili esiphiwe kuphi ke manje ke okumele ke bakwenze abayo ke laphana ke iThunderbirds njengoba ke bayadliwa
ukushintsha approach Julu ukushintsha indlela enigadla ngayo indlela amaqhinga enzogadla ngayo and okuimportant ukuthi istress afanele basifake ebholweni ukutry ukuthola ibhola ngokusheshsha in order ukuthi ba-attack immediately wena balwina kuphi ibhola fanele bafake istress ebholweni batry ukuwina ibhola as quick as possible bangayivumeli iUJ ithole ukuphumula ukuzinza ukuthi bayiqale bayidlale befuna ngakhona they've got everything to lose manje they need to try ukupressa iUJ manje
Musa ke nange bemvala kodwa ke liyabuya ibhola libuya no Esther Ndo owenza iphutha elikhulu ke elivele ke ladala ke igoli nange manje ke uMagcwebeza awuyaligoba uMagcwebeza kodwa ke cross yakhe ephuma nje ngale ke kwepali ke lakhe Dinewo Magagula Umsebenzi usamncane ke asawenzile ke laphana ke uMagagula kuleli yapali kanti ke ngapha kapteni obongisa uMagcobeza 37 years ozalwa ke laphana ke eCofi Mbaba osebenza ke ngokukhulu ke ukuzikhandla banikeza Shannon bazama ukubeka kuyena ke eShamase alifika ibhola ke kuShamase walithatha Keto Eliyawa libuya manje ke noSikweza Shamase Sikweza banikeza bafuna umthandi wabamnika nangempela ke lapha umthandi wadlala ukapteni Sikweza Shamase elabuya kuyena futhi ke Sikweza eyabonani UJ umthandi kodwa ke base ke belivala ke ibhola ukuthi ke lingayi ke lapha emaphalini ke akhe Ziyanda Nsele bayabuya manje ke abe Thunderbirds ngakwesokunxele ke banikeza amagcobeza awekho umuntu ke lapha ke ephambili la ilifaka khona ke umagcobeza goalkeeper uthi ke liyekeni ke leli ke ngoba ke nali ke liza kumina asithi ke ukwehlisa ke umoya kusho ke goalkeeper ke wayo ke UJ uMagagula oyaphukamisa uyalithatha ke laphana ke uShamase olibeke emuva kuyena ke lapha boyitumelo Arasihlo ke nanke naye aliyonakala ke ibhola ke elayo ke la UJ kokhona ke ushintsho ke oluzokwenziwa eyona ke laphana ke iThunderbirds afika agxumisa ebona ke abalandeli ke esinabo ke lana ke enkundleni alaba ke ubabonayo kuyabanda angempela ke amakhaza ke akhona ke la eSoweto kodwa ke badele wona amakhaza bashiya ke emakhaya ke beza ke bazobuka ke amantombazane edlala ke la eUJ Stadium umdlalo ke usamile ke njengoba ke ephuma ke lapha uMusa othintekile baphuma ke naye ke ngaphandle kodwa ke ithola ke ifree kick eUniversity of Johannesburg othintekile lapha Aisha Musa kothiwa ke abadlali ke manje ke emuva anoma Thamsanqa Sikweza Shamase othi uyadlulisa Shamase ayinopepe waphinda futhi ke wakhuza bayisusa ngokusheshsha le free kick emagcobeza wasifaka kwitraffic asibone manje ke izama ukusondela iyaphambili ke iThunderbirds banikeza manje noNtobeko Mkhwanazi asibone manje ke uMkhwanazi kodwa uyazi nje baningi abagqoke orange kule ya defense ebhola nje baluwina nje kalula obheke namanje nangu Shamase uyalibiza umthandi wasemnikeza nangempela ke laphana ke umthandi labuyela kuShamase waselahla ke manje ke lapha uShamase
ukuqala kwaleya situation Thuli umthandi needed to give the width to be a potential outlet lapha kuleya situation but she didn't want to run into the space that was esiphambi kwakhe ispace esiphambi kwakhe that's why she was forcing ukuthi uShamase amphathe enyaweni because ngespeed naso we want to utilize speed sakhe ngokudlala kulesa space lesi he needed to run into that space
obongeka asibiya uyangena oyaphuma manje afika agxumisa oshintsho ke olwenziwe ke iyona ke la iThunderbirds oshintsho ke loqala sizobheka futhi ke olwesibili ngoba ke bayazenza ke inguquko ziningi ekungena manje eDeketa zimasa eDeketa kophuma ke uNontobeko Mkhwanazi intombazane ke ena 21 yase Richards Bay kungena ke la manje nangu futhi ke no Anathi Yose bamkhipha uNanasele inguquko benza nje inguquko ezintathu kanye abayo ke iThunderbirds bafaka wonke amasosha manje ukuthi akwenzeke okwenzekayo.
Iscore mase kuyi-2-0 ushintsha nendlela ngishilo ngathi ushintsha indlela yokugadla namaqhinga okuzama ukuthola at least i-draw kule game if abakhona ukuthola i-win. So into umqeqeshi ufila ukuthi there's no need ukuthi ngiqhubeke ngidefende thi ngiphushe i-aggression approach manje ngibafakela igura so that sizotry ukurecover le 2 goal down.
Iwona ke amagoli ke akhe lawo amanda amthandi lawa ke esimike ngawo elokuqala ke leli ke engena nama defender eboxini wase ke elibhalela ke phakathi elokuqala ke igoli ke lakhe ke yena ke uAmanda Mthandi njengoba ke enamagoli ke amabili ke kuona ke umdlalo kodwa nale lesibili ephutha elenziwe ke eStando ethi ke ibhola ke lifaka isicathulo lavele lashayisa isandla lahlangana ke noMthandi phinda futhi ke wenza kadume ngazo sathi ke ethunili iwona ke lesikhuluma ke ngawo njengamanje.
And with 56 minutes gone, UJ still hold that 2-0 advantage. It's a dangerous advantage in the game of football, it has to be said, a 2-0 advantage, but nonetheless Mthandi, she'll be hoping that she can edge her name into the history books, into the catalogues with a hat-trick here this afternoon. Spirin Kunza, it's been a slow Sunday for Thunderbirds ladies, and for UJFC it's almost as if they've provided them with a wonderful Sunday service of football here this afternoon, giving them a good lesson, especially when attacking. Mthandi's been absolutely ruthless up front for the home side.
Coming from a win, it should give you it should put you on a good space with regards to Thunderbirds, but also
chance here perhaps for UJFC, comes off the post. It's almost as if the whole crowd was holding their breath and waiting for that chance to ripple the back of the net. Nonetheless, the score stays 2-0. Shamase could have easily made it 3 for UJ.
And you can see the keeper from that situation, she injured herself. Shamase pacey in that situation, the ball played behind the defense. Look at how quickly she gets into that ball. Unlucky not to find the target. But you can see she didn't even look at where the goal was. She just used that left foot. But the keeper got injured in the very same action.
Striker's instinct there from Shamase, as you did mention. Not having to look up and spot where the goals are. You know exactly where that is. Musa coming off a midfield change for UJ. Putu making her way onto the battlefield. And a clear knock there for goalkeeper Nsela. Nsela, I beg your pardon. Nsela did come out for that second goal.
Yeah, if you look at it, she left in goal for dead. And unlucky in that situation, she could have, if she found the target, the goalkeeper, as I said, she got injured in the same action. But I must highlight that Shamase ran for that lost cause, but she was able to get the ball back.
Rooted to the spot and perhaps bringing about some sort of a hamstring injury. If you're just joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the UJ Soccer Stadium. The UJ Soccer Stadium, of course, was home for the training ground for the Serbian international team when Serbia came here to play in that 2010 World Cup here in Johannesburg. Of course, they were put alongside in the group of Ghana, I think Australia as well, and Germany, and they did finish at the bottom of that group, the Serbian team, using this as their training ground. And we all knew what Ghana managed to do when they progressed through those knockout stages after that heartbreak loss in the quarterfinals against Luis Suarez's Uruguay. But nonetheless, they'll be hoping that these players here can replicate the fortunes of that Ghana side. But rather interesting to note that international players have played on this pitch before, and definitely says something about the facilities here at UJ.
Quality facilities, especially for UJ, very resourceful. I mean, if you look at the pitch itself, it's well cut. I mean, the groundsman has done a great job with this pitch.
But it's threaded through here, perhaps. Makomo The number 21, the right winger for UJ, coming on for Makobi. We mentioned Makobi was rather anonymous in that first half, doing all the unseen work and allowing Mthandi and Shamase to shine. And this time a change opted for, and Makomo coming on that right-hand flank for UJ as they look to add to their lead and look to really put the nail in the coffin here with the third goal. Just short of Mthandi there, and it's out for a throw-in. Thunderbirds ladies have just a half an hour to go and a half an hour to find 2 goals of their own. So it's an uphill task for the ladies from the Eastern Cape, and in positions that they've been in previously, commanding positions that they've been in their previous games, it's definitely an unfamiliar position for this side. So instead of perhaps clawing their way back into this encounter, they have it all to do here. And it's now or never for this UJ side, and it's slotted through. Shamase almost getting onto the end of that one. Shamase has maybe slotted into the center field position, and Mthandi dropping out to this left-hand flank. So Shamase would probably be wanting some more goal opportunities up front for UJ. And as the sun starts to set here in Soweto, the orange tinge enters the field of play. UJFC holding on to their lead, and the Orange Army doing exactly what their coach Anna Monate would have wanted from them. And it's all smiles on the bench of the coaching staff of UJ.
I think what Anna did in a dressing room, she spoke so much about trying to escape that counter press, because the score is tuning up. We expect the approach to be different from Thunderbirds. So you can see how they've got a good width and depth in trying to escape that counter press. So that is why you see UJ, they're still able to knock the ball around in the right areas.
Mthandi helping the ball out and letting the ball roll out of play. Helping out in defense as well, the young striker. Doing it all here this afternoon, it has to be said. Early shout for man of the match, but now a goal kick taken quickly from UJ and Magagula. And charged down there. And not for the first time we've seen today that a clearance finding a body and quite a heavy blow to the rib cage or to the stomach area of these players. It's definitely not something nice, especially if you don't expect it to be with.
Definitely. Unfortunately, as we try to defend, you use all the part of your bodies to defend. Look at this situation itself. Mashego was trying to play the ball out of the back, but she hit Makwebeba on the stomach. So these are things that happen in a game of football. You see this kind of situation more often.
Player out there, of course. The orange wig for UJFC. Who else would it be for? And it's all orange here this afternoon. And as we approach the halfway mark of this season, it has to be said we've witnessed a scrappy range of results. Teams scrapping for positions, and it's been a dogfight, especially in that mid-table. And 2 of the teams of the division have yet to register their first wins of the campaign. So it's rather a contrast of stories in the HWBSL Super League. One of triumph or attempted triumph, and one of just purely survival, as we saw one of those teams, Tsunami Queens, trying to escape the relegation zone but coming up well short against TUT earlier on this afternoon. And some faces here in attendance, of course. And if you were living under a rock these past couple of days, you are no longer required to wear a mask and show your vaccination certificate, so you do expect more crowds to turn out and attend these HWBSL Super League games. So some supporters here for UJFC, and they've definitely used that to their advantage. As it's one back in the midfield, Mthandi with a free run on goal. She chops back onto her right foot, gives it back to Shamase. Shamase, whose eyes lit up there just for a brief second. but nonetheless not quite dipping in time, but underneath that crossbar of Nsele.
But you must highlight the idea behind what she did. I mean, I thought from Mtandi's situation, she was let down by her first touch. But again, Shamase in that situation, you can see the idea of she wanted to chip the keeper. She was aware the keeper has left her line. But I also must give credit to his too. I mean, shows the game insight, the game intelligence from Shamase.
And with 65 minutes gone, it's UJFC still firmly holding the mantle in this encounter, Tulimia.
Esahamba phambili ke iyona ke iUJ ke ngamagoli amabili eqandeni ke angene ke ngesombe ke sewuqala asikakaliboni ke igoli ke kule sombe ke esesibili ke kodwa ke le nguquko ezenziwa ke iyona ke iThunderbirds ziyathembisa ke ngoba ngempela mubheka uzimasa uDekeda unamagoli ke amathathu ke egameni lakhe ungena endaweni kaNontobe komkhwanazi kwase kwathi ke uonelisa bamkhipha bafaka uAnathi uyose naye ke unamagoli amabili ke egameni lakhe sobona ke le nguquko ukuthi ke sizoyisiza kanjani obheke nje le diagonal ball enhle efuna ke Shannon Makhomo asibona ukuthi yaligoba yinhle le cross lapho yathola umthandi eboxini umthandi washaya ibhola eliqonda nje ngqo ku goalkeeper.
Ubheka umthandi kuleya situation, she was unsure ukuthi i-defender isondela kangakanani kuyena because she's got all the time, but now bekasaba nobona noma bekashanga khona akabonisi i-aggression ne-precision lapha Thuli unokusaba ukuthi mhlambe i-defender likhona lizongiblocka kuleya situation. Sometimes lava fana kuphelele Thuli because you've got all the time in the world to terminate their attack.
Umthandi ke eyeka ke igoli ke elesithathu namhlanje ke kuona ke lo mdlalo kodwa ke akasibone ke ukuthi yenze njani ke laphana ke iThunderbirds njengoba ke kuthiwa ke abaliphose ke ibhola abayaliphosa abafuna ke Dekeda ibhola ke eliyavinjwa sala phansi eDekeda free kick unompempe uyinikeza ke yona iThunderbirds ophuthuma ke ebholeni ke ubongiswa amagwebeba awayo ke laphana ke iThunderbirds ke ukapteni ofuna ukuthi yothathwa uyena nangula la esale khona phansi ke yena ke uzimasa Dekeda goalkeeper ke lungisa udonga futhi Magagula asibone nje le free kick ukuthi wenze njani emagwebeba uyayiphakamisa ke yinhle goalkeeper uyifaka isiphakela ube ikhiphela ke ngaphandle yinhle free kick yakhe no goalkeeper futhi wenza umsebenzi omuhle
because goalkeeper has got hands but ubane strength ngezandla. Look at how she shows the dominance lapha to in that situation uMagagula ukubonisa ukuthi no area yami le ngiyayicommanda ngiphethe ikhiya zala yime ngikhiyayo la, so that is why you can see ukuthi she's dominant and she came out wayipushela ngaphandle
ekhona ithathwa uyena futhi ke Magwebeba uyayiphakamisa nayi ke iwela ke eboxini kodwa ihlangana nje naye ke lapha boyitumelo Rasihlo esemuva manje ke ibuya ke naye ke uyonela Geto Magwebeba wadlula uMagwebeba kodwa ke yase ke ivalwa indlela evalwa ke laphana ke emuva kodwa ke abuye ke elizophoswa yabona uKarabo Mkhwena uqinile strong ebenaye ke uMashego futhi ke ngale ngakwesokudla seUJ.
It's been a whole day uMunase naye uMagwebeva njengoba bashayisana uyabona ukuthi kushayisana amabhasi amabili la situation ababaleki Magwebeva kasabi noMunase hey mara kungcono ngoba ke kulimele kuleya kushayisana kwamabhasi.
Asibone manje ibhola ke liphezulu kwe-D-line nompempe uthi ke akukho kokonakele nangesala phansi estando nangushamase ashamase uqonda ngqo emaphalini obhekene ke wasesebenza ke laphana ke emuva yonela Geto ama center back wasekho uGeto ubuya ngale kwi left back ukuzolungisa lo monakalo odalwa unxele noNdo lapha kuma center back eThunderbirds.
Asiniki credit kuGeto for a recovery from the left to cutting across ama center backs because already we standard situation ngava so ama center backs bewayile uzama ukuthola iheader but good covering from uGeto. I thought uShamase bekabheke phansi, she needed to see option passing option yakhe bekumthandi on the other side ku right hand side
ekhona inikezwa i-University of Johannesburg ethathwa ke umthandi oyayiphamisa ifuna amakhanda bayadefenda kodwa ikakasuka inkosi lapha yabhakuzi nethi egoli lesithathu elayo i-University of Johannesburg angiboni ukuthi ke bazobuya emva kwalomonakalo abayo ke laphana ke iThunderbirds uPhutu ungena esombeni sesibili endaweni kaMusa obelimele nayi ke iSuper Sub ivalela phathi golobheke nje kunesixuku kodwa walishaya khona ke kunjalo igoli ke lesithathu le-University of Johannesburg.
Apart from igoli elikora uPhutu le standard situation Julie as highlighted ukuthi ama team amaningi ane struggle when it comes to set up ku defensive dealing with standard situation because akusiyo kuphela iThunderbirds lot of teams sengibonile ukuthi bane struggle so set up I defensive play yabo when it comes to standard situations. A good finish from uPhutu igoli that can secure UJ lama points today. All they need to do now is to try to maintain ball position in the right areas.
Egoli ke lakhe ke lesibili ekule season ke yena ke uPhutu anangu ke no goalkeeper enza iphutha nangu ke unompempe ekhomba emlotheni othi ipenalty unompempe goalkeeper omagagula odlalise kabi ke ngithi ke udlalise kabi uZimasa Deketa kodwa ke athi sibone kahle abe kuyicross yagothwa anangu goalkeeper ebhola walimisa wasengena ngenyawo kuyena ke uyose unompempe wangananaza wakhomba emlotheni
mawubheka ibholi lakho nje kaRasehlo ubona ngathi ugoalkeeper ulibizile wathi hey
asibone ke le penalty awayibeka phakathi Deketa osuka ebenchini ke naye 3-1 score
3-1 score that can bring a game back to Thunderbirds if they try to recover a pole position as quick as possible. But they haven't done that very well in the second half. UJ are still dominating, but establish a control kamnandi nge-pole position. Beka nje le penalty kanjani. Good technique.
Yinhle.
Ubika isport kamnandi kabi.
Asala ngempela ke ugoalkeeper uMagagula oDeketa oshaya ke igoli ke elesine ke kule season ayena ke uZimasa Deketa esikhathi ke esisekhona kuningi okusangenzeka asibone nje ukuthi ke yenze njani manje ke iyona ke UJ captain anomathamsanqa sikweza bafuna umthandi bamthola walibuyisela kuCaptain abamgudluza uCaptain hlangene ngempela abantu abanamandla uDeketa naye futhi la usikwenza bobabili banamandla kodwa kobheke nje edlala kahle kanjani ke manje ke iyona iThunderbirds le goal selivele labanikeza umfutho Magwebeba waphasa kahle banalibuyisa ngakwesokudla manje ke befuna ke yena ke laphana ke uAyose ebhola ke lase ke liphumela ke ngaphandle oyabuya uShamase oyilanda ke emuva manje Shamase othi ke angilibuyisele ke kuCaptain Mkwena eliyonakala ibhola kodwa ke khona futhi uShamase aliyaphakama iflag othiwa ke offside ngale ngakwesokudla ke Shannon Makhomo
ngiyayicela le kufanele ke siyibone from a slow motion point of view. I thought referee's assistant imbambile le situation because it needs a good timing nakhona akusilula ukuyenza it's easy mawuhlele ngaphandle ukuthi hayi bekufanele lenze kaso but sizoyibona from a slow motion.
Samkelo uyena ke la assistant oyena ke othi ke offside ke yena ke laphana ke uShannon Makhomo leqalo phansi manje ke kuthiwa ke abadlale laphana ke eMagwebeba naye ke ukhiphela ke ngaphandle uMagwebeba oyabuya manje ke lapha amshawe igoli lesithathu uPhutu ohlangothi lesinxele layo ke iThunderbirds luqinile yabona ke uyonela Nketo bese phambi kwakhe kube khona ke yena ke uSnethemba Thwala abadlali ke ngempela ke abaqinile njengoba ke beyiqala phansi emuva uyazikhuphukela manje ke ugoalkeeper angiyazi ke imhlole nje goalkeeper unama options amaningi ukhetha ibhola ukhiphela ngaphandle.
I think akalikhipanga deliberately when actually because the inyawo lakhe aliuser kakhulu left, so she can't use it right properly. That is why she couldn't find a passing option. Now i-advantage yakhe bengamvumeli because he was using left.
Shannon Makomo nake keeper futhi umthandi oyaphuma ugoalkeeper ube onside ke laphana ke umthandi yabona uShannon ongena ke nezinto bezingekho ngesombe ke soqala ngoba uyakwazi ukubona ama-runs akhe ke umthandi futhi umnikeza nje amabhola ke amahle uShannon ngale ke ngakwesokudla obuya nalo ke emuva manje ke lapha uLungelo onxele i-center back yayo ke laphana ke Thunderbirds kodwa nje Esco City ke 3-1 ihamba phambili ayona ke laphana ke iUJ asibone naku Shamase ubhekene nogoalkeeper Shamase yaphakuza inethi asiphumelele Shamase igoli lakhe lesibili kule season elihle igoli ivele yavuleka nje edefense yayo ke iThunderbirds wavele waqonda ngqo emaphalini uShamasi.
Ubheke most of the day just say ama-replica walama goals wena Thuli. How do center backs naba lose organization? Does it mean iscore masinje send lose organization in? Again uShamasi ibhola lesithiwa litholayo leli 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper very calm uzithele ngamanzi la usebhishu phethe ithawula. Look at how she finishes. Okunye sokhuluma ekseni.
Ake sibone ke ukuthi ke kuno 15 minutes osele ikuphi ezokwenza iyona ke laphana ke awubheke futhi ke namanje bayaliveza ayikonakele lapha kule defense yeThunderbirds Ray.
And with 15 minutes to go in this encounter, it's UJFC leading the scoreline 4-1, 4 unanswered goals. And Shamase, the latest to tear through that Thunderbirds ladies' defense. But the chances are coming in abundance for the home side now. Many forward players and midfielders are slowly starting to make their way up to that halfway line, knowing that those gaps are slowly starting to appear for the UJ attackers to penetrate. Spiwe Mkonza.
I was saying that the Thunderbirds have lost their discipline, they've lost their shape, because now obviously they're trying to chase the score, but it's not an excuse. You need to try to remain disciplined regardless of how many goals you've conceded. Remember, they got a goal from the penalty, which at least it gave them a bit of hope that we can come back from this game. But now conceding again this goal number 4 doesn't do justice for them. It might seal the game for UJ. It depends on how UJ now turns out in the next 12 minutes of the game.
Frustration and desperation slowly starting to appear on the faces of Thunderbirds ladies. Clearly frustrated with their own performance here this afternoon. The Sasol League, of course, the Sasol League Conference champions back in 2017 and 2018 before making their way up to the Hollywood Bets Super League. But now we do have a player out there, some stoppage here once more. As you can expect, as that clock slowly starts to head towards the 90 minutes, do expect some players to go down to fatigue. And Nunge, of course, such a demanding position in the midfield, so you do expect her to hit the turf whenever she can, of course. But Thunderbirds ladies, I mentioned, after coming off a wonderful 6-1 win over Vasco da Gama, now all of a sudden appear to be on the receiving end of a hiding and going down here 4-1 to the home team UJFC, and it's been rather easy for UJ to string those passes and to find those through balls into the attackers, the likes of Shamase and Mtandi operating on the flanks, of course. And it has to be said, rather prolific goal scorers, typical goal scoring opportunities, and whenever they seem to face the goal up front and seem to have the keeper one-on-one, it's almost as if you know the ball is going to ripple the back of the net. Such is the calmness of the attackers of UJ, and that's been the difference this afternoon. The ruthless nature of this UJ attacking line. As it's played around there in the corner flag, Beba losing out there, and it's a free kick once more to the home side. They'll be just seeking to slow down the clock, of course. But offside call there for the goal scorer, Dekera. She did come on to score a penalty. Wonderful penalty by the substitute. And given away once again. UJFC might just be through. Mthandi is lining up. She does appear to be in somewhat of an offside position. They don't quite find Mthandi there. And it just shows you, Spiwe, that this UJ side are so comfortable in their structure, in defense, and whenever they decide to go forward, they do so in rapid pace, as the cross might come in, or the shot almost creeping into the far post there, but nonetheless the score stays at 4-1.
It's linked to their game model. I mean, I'm happy with the fact that they don't just play in haphazard long balls, because they know playing a long ball can result in a turnover. So you can see when they come out that in thirds, the strategy on how to move from third to third. So I think Anamnata spoke about how well her team is coached. It shows that she's been working so hard in the training grounds to make sure that the team understands the principles, especially when you play the ball orientating or position heavy side. You need patience. Sometimes you pay school fees because player will make a mistake and get punished, but when you get it and you grasp it, I can tell you it's a nice football to watch.
UJFC getting rid of all those bad habits that have slowly started to creep into their game over the last couple of game weeks, and all those bad habits have definitely exited, and it's the UJ of old. But they do need to close down this game in similar fashion as the way they started. UJ looking to make it 5 of the best, perhaps. Mthandi in the box, not finding Mthandi. 3 unanswered goals for Thunderbirds ladies. As a player goes down there, Shamase, arm and elbow to the face, I'm not quite too sure. But as you can imagine, ladies and gentlemen, the SABC internship program, of course, granting opportunities to the youth and granting opportunities to people to get involved in camera work and potentially behind the scenes action here. And it's just lovely to see so many people getting involved in the game of football. And it's exactly what South Africa does need, an injection for youthful energy into local football. Applying their trade, and definitely ones for the future. So are many of these players here. Shamase might just thread through there for Putu. Putu, of course, coming on and scoring the 3rd goal for UJ thanks to a corner. And it just fell to the substitute and she slotted away rather beautifully. But they look to close down this game. And Thunderbirds ladies, has to be said, and kudos to them, are really not letting up here, Spiwe Mkonza. They seem to have that never say die attitude, despite the scoreline suggesting that it's 4-1. Still playing with so much pride, still looking for that 2nd, 3rd goal here this afternoon. But some final substitutions here lined up for UJFC.
Total dominance from UJ in terms of the ball position, in terms of space domination. You can see every time they come out from defense to attack, the patterns. I love the patterns in terms of how they come out. And I spoke about, I give credit to Anamnati's team. I mean, the young, I said it earlier in the game that it's a young relative team, but you can see it's well coached. That is why you see a lot of energy. You see from how they press, from how they try to recover the ball in terms of the ball retention. So this team, I think, as I said, if they grasp how Anna wants them to play, they're going to be a deadly team. They're going to be a team to beat.
It might just be a change in fortunes in the season of UJFC. Only time will tell, of course. We do only now sit in the halfway point of the HWBSL Super League, so the table will probably go through the changes. But speaking about changes, some changes were rung for Thunderbirds ladies. And Nunge coming off for Nobanda. And it's hoof forward once again. Pride of the Eastern Cape are this Thunderbirds Ladies FC, self-proclaimed of course, but it's now slotted through for Makomo. Makomo is through, and it's parried there almost for Mtandi to help herself to a third goal. But lucky enough for Thunderbirds Ladies, the hat-trick is halted, and Mtandi is forced to wait a little bit longer for her first hat-trick of her career. And it's a player that has doubled her tally in just a matter of 90 minutes here this afternoon. She came into this encounter with 2 goals to her name, and if the scoreline stays the same, she will exit this game with 4 goals. But that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Tuli Mia now to take you through the final furlong of this encounter, and it's been definitely one for UJ to boast about.
Yabona ke uShanoni bekumele enze kangcono ngoba ke utholeke ithuba elingayizivele ngempela bekufanele ke enze ke kangcono kodwa goalkeeper ke wase ke emgeza isikoko esisamile 4-1 laphana ke ebhodini benza ke inguquko njengoba ke bemkhiphile ke uNunge abayo ke iThunderbirds base ke befaka ke uNobanda. Uzukhumbula ke uNunge ukuthi okeke wathinteka ke ikhathi ke zabaningi ehlala phansi ke la enkundleni, ingakho ke ubona umqeqeshi uThemba lethu apleni esemkhiphela ke ngaphandle ke yena ke lapha uNunge Dinewo Magagula Shamase elihle ibhola lika Shamase lifuna ke yena ke Umthandi bamthola Umthandi uyalibiza futhi elinyiwele la uShamase cha Umthandi ke uziyela yena nange manje ke uyindlela ayokhahlela iyavalwa wabuyisela ke yena ke manje Shamase Umthandi futhi uyayivala efuna igoli lesihlanu lapha ke UJ lapha yaphakusi nethi yaphakusi nethi 5 UJ woni iqembu ke elayo ke iThunderbirds kodwa belivele liza kancane nje beliza legoli ngoba amathuba bewathola njengoba ke uthuba elihle Shamase elibeka phakathi ke igoli lesihlanu.
Unenhlanhla Umthandi kule bhola bekayenza imess in terms of i-decision yakhe, but uzamile kuyilungisa wayikhenika pass emnandi la ukuthola uShamase. Good finish from Shamase. I think UJ today for me total domination to live control game kamnandi, but also the principles and dynamics eswabuni namhlanje abonisa ukuthi le team i-team for the future, i-team esazoshaya ama-team masabayibambile lento bahlele steeringini.
Uyabona ke womabili manje ke amawele la enkundleni ke asekorile asiphumelele Shamase unegoli lakhe awuthuba elihle Shamase naye futhi ke unegoli lakhe njengoba ke sithi ke mahlanu amagoli ke ayo ke iUniversity of Johannesburg benza ke ushintsho omunase bayamkhipha kungena ke uMotshehwe alaphana ke emuva ke kulona ke iqembu ke elayo ke iUniversity of Johannesburg nayi ke first touch yakhe ay kapteni odlalile namhlanje ke laphana ke sikweza awubheke nje namanje ke uyena nje uyahlaba uyacela gcwele yonke inkundla usikweza nange manje bemkhipha futhi ke uShamase akuthi ke akaphinde futhi ke ayeke lapha kulo goalkeeper kodwa ke wasephuma ke ethatha ke ibhola ke ziyandanisele intombazane ke iyale eRichards Bay le empangeni ke engwelezane eThekwini. Shamase ubheka uShamase uyaliteka ibhola phambi kwabanye abadlali, ubheka uShamase uyazenzela uyabuya manje ke laphana ke ibhola ke eNomthandi. Hayi basebumnandini uhlezi usho ukuthi ke basebumnandini bakhuluma ngabantu abasebumnandini UJ
baphethe ushukela onsundu basemayadini, you can see ukuthi bayazenzela lapha la percent. uShamase I think mina ube nomdlalo omuhle kakhulu, very deadly player, very dangerous, very intelligent. Makaliphethe ibhola kunomnyakazo nomzamo wenzakalayo uyibambishisa.
Asibone manje ke ibhola ke nali ke layo ke la iThunderbirds kodwa ke uyavala ke emuva lapha uRasihlo labuya noMthandi oyilanda ke emuva manje ke uMthandi Oyaphuma ke ugoalkeeper elaphana ke emapalini. Oyalithatha ke leli bhola ke ngoba ke eseyifikile futhi ke iUniversity of Johannesburg. Yabona ke lamagoli amahlanu ayiqala ukushawa ke ngamagoli amahlanu iThunderbirds neSundowns yabashaya ngo5-1. eCeltic yabashaya ke ngo5-2. Okwesithathu manje ke kule season bededela ke amagoli ke amahlanu kwisizini eyodwa iyona ke iThunderbirds.
Ngesizulu vasithi insakavukela umqhilo wesidwaba lama5 maningi kakhulu man.
Ayikofanele ngempela ke bazilungise ke izinto zabo ngoba uyabona ke laphana ke iThunderbirds umdlalo ke wabo ke olandelayo bazodlala ke neTsunami Queens. Kanti ke iyona ke iUniversity of Johannesburg ezodlala ke nayo ke iSundowns kodwa ke konke ke lokho kuzokwenzeka masibuya akuyona ke ibreak njengoba ke iBanyana iyodlala ke yona AFCON asibone ke lo mnyakazo kothiwa ke akube ke ikhona yayo ke iUJ 6 minutes owengeziwe ke laphana ke ebhodini. Umthandi ke uyena ke oyothatha ke le corner kick. Awunamagoli ke amabili ke kulomdlalo Amanda Mthandi 26 years. Oyena ke oyothatha ke le corner. Oyayiphakamisa ugoalkeeper ke uyayithatha ke ngokukhulu ke ukuzethemba. Elaphana ke emuva ke eziyanda insele. Elide ke ibhola ke lakhe unsele lifuna ke anathi yose bamdlala kabi unompempe wakhuza bayisusa ngokusheshsha bazama ukukhahlela ke bekude manje ke abeThunderbirds.
Umzamo irisk abayithathayo manje kude sesiyazi ukuthi ilanga selishonile sesisikhathi sokuthi yodla inkobe manje ethuli so that is why bathatha ama shot from far but again bayazi ukuthi namhlanje officeini abayenzanga umsebenzi omuhle and hence usho babuya from win mabaqeda bazoluza kanje but ngishilo ngathi game ayisaqala kune approach umqeqeshi engibone ngathi ufuna ukuhlala kuyo ukudlala i-counter attack but it didn't work today.
Asibone naba manje ke befuna nje ukuqhophoza ke lo liyadonga uyena ke lapha Teketa zama ukushaya kodwa othini unopepe wayikhomba emlotheni futhi othi ipenalty nangu unopepe ebeka phansi ipenalty yesibili eyomdlalo othi balibambe ngesandla lapha emuva kuUJ
athi sibone uMuthego ibambe ngesandla la kule shot leli yona imshaya isandla angeke akayitholanga kahle imgwinyile le unompempe le imgwinyile
oyikhomba kodwa ke emlotheni
usha ama-ribs aspayisiwe la uyigwinyile umpempe
nangebuya futhi uDeketa ufuna ukumphinda lapha wagesa ugoalkeeper ayikakasuka inkosi lapha wabaphinda uyazi umuntu egeza ubebebe Dinebo Makakula ugesa ipenalty bathi bayabuya nerebound waphinda futhi wasdela amathambo usebenzile uMakakula
also i-conviction makayishale phela I think also naye uMakakula la unaro i-angle ngokuya phambili kancane usukile elayinini but ake somxolela ngoba useyivile and bayawina namhlanje but uma ngayibheka kahle naye I think makayishale penalty lena ugqumisa wena Thuli i-conviction man I think she was too comfortable ukuthi la uyadla la kanti hayi uMakakula ukhona.
Uyabona ke bekufanele ashaye ke igoli ke lesibili uZimasa Deketa bekuzoba ke ipenalty ke yesibili kodwa cha uMakakula ke lapha epalini awanqaba hayi wakholoza ngempela ke yena ke uMakakula ohlezi phansi bayangena ke bazombheka ke bosizo lokuqala kodwa nanku yabona ama reflexes a goalkeeper ngempela osezingeni eliphezulu akalali phansi oyashesha uyavuka ngoba ukube ke walala lela bhola beliqhamuka ngawesokunxele bebezolivalela phakathi engekho epalini.
Ibizwa nge-proactive. She's very proactive. After their first save, sekasukumile ukwenza second save again. I think she did well today. So you can see amambona goalkeeper hayi yajabulisa ukubona ama goalkeeper asebenza kahle kanje.
Ayisibabonile ngempela ke goalkeeper kule mdlalo nje edlule iyayo ke iHollywood goalkeeper bayasebenza bahle ke ngempela uyabona nje ukuthi uphoxeke kanjani umqeqeshi la Themba lethu aplaying kanti ke ngapha hayi ke ihlathi hayi ngempela ke uyabona nje ukuthi iqhomo zihlukene zilena le ku Ana Monate ngoba konke kuhambe ngohlelo lwakhe namhlanje abadlali bakhushila ukuthi bancane kodwa ke bushilo ukuthi bafuna ukuthi badlale ibhola labo limnandi liyajabulisa ebhola ke ele UJ ngoba ke balibeka phansi bese ke bahlasele baqonde ingqo lapha ke emapalini abalandeli esinabo ke laba ke enkundleni ngoba ke asikho sodwa la abakhona ke abalandeli kakhulukazi ke bayo ke iUJ okuyiyona ke edlala ke la ekhaya asibone nangu futhi umthandi oyalibiza uShenoni umthanda kaphasi umthandi nayi free kick umthanda unomona kodwa uShenoni kade lilindile ibhola ngakwesokudla.
Sometimes ama situation yes ungamblame ukuthi akaphathi Julie mara leya situation beyimvuma ukuthi ashiya abantu uphethe imoto remember i2.0 so ubone lesa space was recognizer wathi ngizosateka lesa space unfortunately she was foul. Sometimes my striker we attacker as be honest bana kube selfish uthengisa inhlanzi but again there are situations where you need to pass la bekabona lesa space less and uShannon chances in that situation she could have been offside so umthandi ngeke imgceke kakhulu kule situation.
Asibone ke le free kick noma Thamsanqa sikweza oyena ke ozoyithatha captain weUJ odonga lubathathu odongeni uyayishaya ke usikweza kodwa ke cha uyayibamba nje ngokukhulu ke ukuzethemba goalkeeper ke uZiyanda Nsele ejubane ke lapha ke emuva umgwena noma ke uyena ke uMashikho elikhiphela ke ngaphandle uyaliphosa ngokusheshsha ke manje ke yena zimasadeketa esithende libuyela kudeketa awavala ke lapha ke uPrecious Mashikho Shamase umthandi ayejabulisa iUJ yobheke banikeza uShenoni ngakwesokudla nange 12 veza ke uShenoni kodwa livela lifaka nje isixukwini uyabuya ukapteni sikweza Shamase hey awatapeta manje ke uShamase obheka ugibela phezkwalo waseyishaya iphasi yomhlaba uShamase wanikeza uShenoni ungena eboxini akodwa uShenoni usheshe wakhahlela
ujahile because of ipressure bekaharidwa ipressure lapha ngokutshela ngabo Shamase yabona ushukelo onstundu baligibela lebhola babasidlisa into ezimnandi
yabona lamawelo omabili uthumelele Shamase uthubelihle Shamase namhlanje badlalile ibhola eUJ wina nje imisebenzi yabo ke kakhulu ke kule nkundla umthando washayile amagoli kodwa umdlalo uShamase uthubelihle usiphumelele bese ukapteni unoma Thamsanqa sikweza naye futhi ke udlale kahle ungayikhohlwa leya defense yeUJ nayo beyistrong ingavumeli umuntu odlula oya ke lapha ku goalkeeper nanke futhi uNompepe othi ke alibuye ke ibhola ke kube ke elayo ke la iThunderbirds goalkeeper Dinewo Magagula awuzibamba nje la ngemuva ke esiphundu kodwa ke nayi free kick ithathwa uLungelo Nxele 37 years ke waseMaritzburg njengoba ke iphakamisa ke lapha ke uNxele kodwa uyavimba emuva lapha aboyitumelo Rasihlo naku goalkeeper futhi hayi umuhle wabamba walala phezukwalo ke ngempela ke la uDinewo Magagula umdlalo uzophela goalkeeper ke naye futhi ke wenza omuhle umsebenzi wavele ke wayishaya kanye wayishaya kabili wayishaya kathathu ke uNompepe indweba yakhe wawuqeda umdlalo 3 points uyasala la eUJ 3 points iyawuthatha ke iUniversity of Johannesburg izohamba ingaphethe lutho ibheke Eastern Cape yona ke lapha ke iThunderbirds amagoli amahlanu ke kuyona ke iUJ elodwa ke kuyona ke lapha ke iThunderbirds Umthandi ke uyena ke ovulele laphana ke emagoli oqala amabili oPutu noShamase amawele ase amasdeli ke nawo ke aseke evalela ke phakathi uDekeda ipenalty uyena ke oyibeke phakathi yamhlula ke eyesibili ingakho ke umdlalo ke uphela ke sithi ke 5-1 ngokunqoba ke iyona ke iUJ yabona ke futhi ke neball possession ukuthi ke beyiyona iUJ 56% ku-44 ama-shots at goal 15 ku-UJ 8 kuyona ke la Thunderbirds kanti amakhona nje abembalwa kulo mdlalo mabili ku-UJ mabili futhi ke kuyona ke la Thunderbirds kodwa ke umdlalo ophelile njengoba ke sugoqa ke thina ke la sithatha intambo siziphotsa ke kuyena ke uvusiwe Ngcobo lapha ku-touchline 5-1 i-full time score.
A massive thank you to our commentary team today. We are now joined by Dinewa Mashawa of HWBSL. She is the sports events team leader for the Gauteng province. Dinewa, you're here to do the honors for us. Please reveal the player of the match.
The Hollywood Superbet champion player of the match is Spumelelo Shamase.
Spumelelo Shamase, one of the Shamase twins. We saw her doing wonders on the field here today and also finding the back of the net in one of those goals. Spumelelo, dadwethu uzizwa kanjani ngeperformance yakho neyeqembu lenu namhlanje njengoba nikwazile ukunqoba namhlanje ngamagoli amahlanu kwelodwa?
Angizizwa ngijabulile thina ezithimu ngi-backup ukuthi mesibuya after i-break siphinde siqhubeke sidlale kahle ngoba msathu ukubheka siluze 2 games manje bekumele siboost ukuthi sikhuphuke kwi-league.
Dadwethu, congratulations.
Ngiyabonga.
That is, of course, the player of the match in this HWBSL Super League encounter, where the home side, UJ, they managed to find the back of the net 5 times in this encounter. And in response, Tsunami Queens only were able to find a consolation goal from the penalty spot through Deketa. Coach Tembaletu Apleni joins me now. Coach, isikhulumile mina nawe phambi kokuthi umdlalo oqala wakhuluma wangitshela ukuthi nineplani ni high on confidence nifuna ukuqhubeka nemomentum ebekade nayo kodwa izinto azihambelanga ngalendlela ubihlele ngayo namhlanje uzizwa kanjani ngalendlela lo mdlalo turned out?
There's only one comment, Mangobo. It's the worst game ever we have played as a team. But I give credit to the number 12, which is their captain. She was in control of the entire game. I think she was the only player of the tournament, of this game. Yes. But we'll have to go back and start afresh.
Hard luck here, coach.
Thank you, Mangobo.
Oshilo coach wathi akanawa amazwi amaningi phambi kokuthi siqale our interview njengamanje. We are joined by the winning coach, Coach Ena Munati. Coach, today you want to come back into winning ways, and what a way to do it, finding the back of the net 5 times. And we also spoke about you not having your ordinary captain here today, but we saw Sikweza step up into this role. Your thoughts on the encounter overall?
Yeah, it's all about planning and then taking instruction. When you have players that they can take instructions, it makes the job easy for you as a coach, because we had a very 2 weeks preparation, and I think now they can see and understand why sometimes I'm very hard on them. And the captain, and thank you for the opponent, they give us a run. Eh?
Congratulations, coach.
Thank you so much. Yep.
That is Coach Ena Munati of UJ. They do walk away with the 3 points here today. They came into this encounter on a 3-game winless streak, but they managed to overturn that tide, and convincingly so. Namhlanje, we saw Umthandi finding a brace. The Shamase twins both putting their names onto the score sheet, as well as Uputu finishing off those 5 goals. And that's how we basically wrap up the action from here at the UJ Soccer Stadium out in Soweto. So from myself, Uvusiwe, Intokaze Ngcobo, and the rest of the team out here, do have yourselves a blessed afternoon. Further, we now take you through to the team in studio for full-time analysis.
With Handy Andy, you're not just cleaning a set of wheels, an old braai stand, or a drum kit. Underneath those dirty surfaces, there's a lot to be uncovered. Bring the things you love back to life with the cleaning power of Handy Andy.
We want the best for our families, so protecting them from illness-causing germs is no game. Why share germs when we can share precious family moments? That's why for generations we have trusted Dettol to protect our loved ones.
Making Dettol a part of every household is how you can make sure that you and your home are 99.9% protected from germs.
Which is why I use it in so many different ways to protect my family.
Aungie slow poison. Ayo bayo. We are hampa. Bafethu mbize. Shoba fethu bele lo. Shoba fethu kale lo bafethu. Kale mase hlangene kuyafika kakhulu bafethu. We are chair summer 28. We're still alive. Shout out to everybody that's nominated. Blow.
Keep watching SABC 1 Mzansi for sure.
Anna, ufumana television ka DStv. OpenView, StarSat kapa di streaming platform, o ka sebella mathata ka hodima ha analog. Ho fumana dintlha tse ding le ho netefatsa hore TV ya hao ke ya digital kapa tjhe. Etela www.dcdt.co.za. Romela molaetsa wa WhatsApp ho 0600 625 458. Shintsha ungasale. Go digital. Molaetsa ona o tliseditswe ke Department ya Communications le Digital Technologies.
What a way to wrap up the HWBSL Super League season before the AWCON, of course, resumes in just a few days' time. UJ has inflicted by far the biggest defeat on Thunderbirds in terms of their head-to-head stats. It was a 5-1 drubbing. In terms of the Shamase household, they'll be very happy as both Phumelele Nothubelihle got goals and, of course, Umthandi scoring a brace. It truly was absolutely exciting. Still joined by Usimpiwe Dludluganye, Gloria Brown. Thrilling 6 goals. We actually could have seen more, Gloria. What did you make of those 90 minutes?
90 minutes, however, 2 halves that gave us the goals that we wanted. But I think for Thunderbirds, it was a disappointing day at the office, particularly for a team that has really shown some great results of late, winning against Coal City. And you're looking at a team who is aggressive and quite explosive. And today they were just nullified in almost all departments by a very determined UJ side that seemed to have the answers in all departments. Nippy in the midfield, nippy up front, defensively pretty solid. But again, I look at it and I say, yes, we have our lady of the match being Phumelele Shamase, but you also got to look at Norma Sikweza in the midfield for UJ. She was really dictating the pace, being present in that match right up to the 90th minute. So well done to Anna Minati and her charges.
Of course, you know, Masbega EUJ, they really came in on the back foot, having not won in the past 3 matches. And of course, Masbega, my head-to-head stats, it was the Thunderbirds that was dominating. So this performance was something truly unexpected.
Unexpected in terms of on paper, but with the personnel on the day, especially for Thunderbirds when they missed their key player, Amanda November. So that messed up a lot for them, and she was serving her last game because she got a red card 3 games ago. So I think EUJ made sure to play very simple football that worked out for them. They capitalized on the space that was left behind by Thunderbirds because they pushed up high, badlala nge-offside trap. Whenever they tried to be compact with Thunderbirds, EUJ spread it wide to Phumelele or to Mukobi on the first half. In the second half, and now you found Phumelele going inside. So they found ways to change point of attack as quickly as possible because because they capitalized on the space, on the mistakes that Thunderbirds made, and they also created 1 or 2 goals from the set piece. So they had a game plan, stuck to it, and it worked out for them.
Absolutely had a brilliant game plan. It started as early as the 9th minute. Amanda Mtandi getting the first goal of that encounter, and in just fine style that she did that.
Absolutely, but I also want to look at the creative work of young Aisha Musa in the middle of the park. She waltzes through that midfield with the clear vision of eliminating defenders and then just laying that ball through. But again, you got to look at Shamase. She's part of that, but Thandi making sure that when she saw the goalkeeper coming out, she knew what she wanted to do. That's quite an experienced player who also, I might remind viewers, she played in Spain. One of those players, Amanda Mtandi, who people have forgotten that she's gained a lot of experience, but come back, and you can actually see the way she runs off the ball, runs into spaces, and is always part of the action.
And about 23 minutes later, Amanda Mtandi was not done because she had a brace looming, and indeed she scored a goal. Estando also had an error in defense there, which resulted in that goal.
And if you look at where Amanda comes from, she comes from Unglele, and she was a bit deeper. Undo had all the time in the world to clear the ball using the instep instead of the laces. She tried to kick that ball away, blocked it with her arm, and because this is a striker that always pounces on defenders that are making mistakes, that's the space I was talking about. Amanda, ne space, ne speed, same WhatsApp group. And again, I'm applauding her finishing there. She almost went outside of range, but came back to score.
And coach, there's just one thing to add on that. In my humble opinion, that goal was the turning point of the match. Thunderbirds came in with the belief. And when you know that a team is there for the taking, you go and you make sure that you use the opportunities. Amanda Mtandi there, capitalizing on that mistake, just really deflated a team that came in knowing that they're going to collect 3 points. Because when you look on paper, as we said, Thunderbirds were absolutely dominant in terms of their head-to-head.
Absolutely. And of course, that first half finished 2-0 in favor of UJ. And in the second half, they were about to score 3 goals. That first in the 67th minute came courtesy of Uputu. And really here, it was just free-flowing for the Orange Army.
Yeah, it was free-flowing for the Orange Army. Great in-swinger. It's an in-swinger according to us in South Africa and Africa, but in Spain, La Liga, it's an out-swinger because how she's kicking it, it's going outside of the field. So the goalkeeper couldn't get to it, and look at that. It's going out and away from the goalkeeper. So that finish from Uputu. Claw, there's something incredible about this corner. Look at the first pole and the last pole. Could they have saved that corner?
They could have saved the corner if they were on the line in the right position. Right now, they're standing into spaces that are very negative. They're not of any help to the goalkeeper. They're both standing flat-footed. But also, one's got to look at the numbers they have in the box. And when you have so many numbers in the box, there's a lack of responsibility because nobody seems to want to take the responsibility, say, I'm looking after so-and-so, I'm looking after so-and-so. Instead, everybody then stands and watches and allows Putti a free chance at the goal.
In the 71st minute, Magagula brought down Uyose, which of course resulted in a penalty. Lapo Udegeta did not make a mistake and made sure that she converted. But just talking about that, was that a soft penalty, Gloria?
Look, when you look at it, for me, the keeper here, she has to take the blame 100% for this foul. She goes out, and you can actually see how Boitumelo communicates with the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper says, leave it for me. Instead of her coming to collect, she dilly-dallies. And then because she realizes the attacking player has eluded her, then goes and collects. But look, that was a very well-taken penalty, stretching Magagula to her right and making sure that she picks a spot and gives the team a bit of hope.
Yeah, and that dive from Magagula, if she had a bit of height, she could have gotten to it. And it's a telling tale because the second penalty that comes, she saves it. But I'm a bit disappointed with the assistant referee who's not on the goal line to see, is the goalkeeper moving early on? And you'll see how this affects Udegeta, who has to take the second penalty.
And at that point, we thought maybe this was the turning point for Thunderbirds, but it really was not because UJ still had more goals to bang inside of the net. And it was courtesy courtesy through Shamase, who scored, making it her second goal for Usiphumelele.
This is when a defense does not play according to the whistle. And again, you're looking at the defensive line. Ngele, Ndo, Kukamur, and Kito. They're standing there and watching, thinking that, okay, the referee's going to blow. But cleverly, UJ play according to the whistle, hold the ball, and she goes all the way. And that is not an offside.
Chloe, these colors for me were not comfortable the whole game, Koli, to be quite honest with you. Orange and red and the scorching sun under pressure, even though Thunderbirds is wearing red and black and blue shorts. At that moment, there's orange and red. That's are you in line? Are you offside trapping? Are you moving away? Are you going with the ball? It's a bit hard also to look at that. But again, if you're looking at the shots of your teammates and all of that, Thunderbirds were not picking up properly to say, let's kill the depth behind, because now we are trailing. As much as we want to go forward and say, let's go forward and try to get those goals, but we couldn't. Still be cautious in how you defend.
And the final goal of the encounter came in the 86th minute. Shamase, once again, this time around though, Uthubelihle banging it in and making sure that UJ walks away 5-1 victors.
I think this one was just one that was spoken about, Uguti. The twins must share. And so that there's no fighting at home. What a beautiful ball. They shared it around. They knocked it about. We see Amanda Mtandi doing ever so well. She holds on the ball a little long, but that is the intelligence of Amanda Mtandi. She's holding the ball because she realizes if she plays it, her teammate is offside. But she'll hold it to allow to play it off and lay it off to an oncoming teammate who's in a better position. And we see there Makoma also coming into the game. So it was a team effort, being knocked around and eventually getting in the back of the net.
And in this moment, the 92nd minute is what Osimpiwe Dludlu was alluding to when Uteketa got a penalty that this time around was unable to convert.
Yeah, this is a great shot coming in by Unobanda, and you can see with Tegeta coming in, Nobanda coming in, and also Yose coming in. It means they were trying to take shots at goal, but they were unable to do that. And this, unfortunately for Ujiji, she could not move her arm on time so that the ball doesn't hit her arm. And forever there, goalkeeper hears that save. It's the same side, and there's a psychological thing that happens there. Because it's the same player that's got the first penalty. It's the same goalkeeper. Will she change a side? Should I change a side, or must I stick to the same side? And there the goalkeeper was too early for me. If the assistant referee was on the goal line, she would have noticed that and said retake and given a yellow card to the goalkeeper.
Oh, but also so impressive in terms of Makakula, those triple saves, 92nd minute. Anything could have happened. Thunderbirds could have scored their second goal.
Very brave. Very quick, but unfortunate with height.
Unfortunate there, but all the glory, all the congratulations goes to the Orange Army, walking away 5-1 victors. There is more after this. Stay tuned.
Guess who's back? That's right, your favorite dating game show is returning for a brand new season. And we have only one question for you. Are you too hot to be single? If Mjolo's got you beat, and you know you're destined for #couplegoals, then put your daughter to good use. Enter your details at www.toohottobesingle.co.za and be a contestant on SABC1's hottest dating game show.
He's way too hot to be single.
Too hot to be single.
With Handy Andy, you're not just cleaning a set of wheels, an old braai stand, or a drum kit. Underneath those dirty surfaces, there's a lot to be uncovered. the things you love back to life with the cleaning power of Handy Andy.
When it comes to my family's health, I don't take chances. I trust Prospan for all types of cough. Unlike other cough products, Prospan is clinically proven to be effective and safe for the whole family. Prospan's unique 4-in-1 action thins mucus, opens airways, reduces inflammation, and relieves coughing fits. Prospan, the #1 prescribed and selling cough treatment in South Africa and the world. Doctors trust Prospan. Why wouldn't you?
Go beyond work with faster internet. Open your world to non-stop play, streaming, and inspiration. Bring ideas together. Bring the family closer. Unlimit your world with fiber to your home from $4.49 per month. Dial 10213, click telkom.co.za or go to any Telkom shop.
Anna, ufumana television ka DSTV, OpenView, StarSat kapa di streaming platform, o ka sebella mathata ka hodima ha analog. Ho fumana dintlha tse ding le ho netefatsa hore TV ya hao ke ya digital kapa tjhe. Etela www.dcdt.co.za. Romela molaetsa wa WhatsApp ho 0600 625 458. Shintsha ungasali. Go digital. Molaetsa ona o tliseditswe ke Department ya Communications le Digital Technologies.
7 goals were scored in today's double header. We just saw UJ beating Thunderbirds 5-1. Earlier on, it was TUT, the Tshwane University of Technology, coming out victorious against Tsunami Queens. And as early as the 10th minute, we saw Tsunami Queens really trying to find the back of the net through Karabo Mofokeng, but it wasn't to be, Gloria.
Yeah, it wasn't to be, and we look at this earlier opportunity here for Tsunami Queens, where she really tried and just took her eyes off the ball. But then we also got to give credit to Mabatle, who fought hard to come back and make sure as a defender she doesn't give that opportunity.
It's the two strikers that were at the top for Tsunami Queens. And Chloe, you did ask to say, how can Tsunami Queens be better? Information was better, but it's just unfortunate they were not quick enough to pounce on the mistakes and even the opportunities they created to punish ETUT on those.
And it was phenomenal also to see Ukhumalo finding the back of the net for the Tshwane University of Technology. What a goal. It means now TUT have got 10 goal scorers amongst them.
And that shows the collectivity of the team dynamics, that they're not too dependent on one player. But without a doubt, Busisiwe Ndimeni was missed. She's really the goal poacher and gets a lot of the goals. But when you look at the players that were on display, it speaks volumes about the depth that they have, because you're then seeing Mofokeng come in, put her hand up. You're looking at Sangwe, and you're also looking at Mutlakhelwa also coming and putting her hand up. So when you have your regulars out, it is important for a coach to be able to look and say, am I stable enough to take the next half of the season with this team? Do I need to make acquisitions or not? But he's definitely on a good track, and with the results, it actually speaks volumes about what he has on the bench.
This is a goal that came literally about 10 seconds after the first attempt, Dera Khumalo. That means already they were pressing Tsunami Queens to say, you saved a goal. As soon as you want to build up from that, they press them, win the ball, and first pass forward for Khumalo to score that goal. She's going to be happy because Ubusisiwe Ndimeni at training and all of that always says to her, you need to score goals. This is how you do it. So I'm happy for Khumalo, who came on and scored that goal, the solitary goal for TUT.
Absolutely. Dineo Kabai also has been really so phenomenal. She walked away with the player of the match accolade, much deserved.
A fantastic performance by the goalkeeper that really kept Tsunami Queens. You'd really look at this team and say they don't deserve to be in 16th position with this performance that they've put up. But key to the progression of any team is consistency. You got to put in these kind of performances week in and week out. You are sure to get the results. But again, the coach, as you can see, that Coach Tabiso bringing in his philosophy, players responding positively. This is not a bad team at all.
This is TUT, and I think here, Ubibo, we call her, should have taken a shot at goal, but because she's a passer, she decided, let me try to go across and make a pass to my teammate. You can see how they were piercing through that defense. Tsunami Queens, just not enough for her to go, take it quickly, bring in, but it was great for them to pick up in the second half and try to get more goals.
Absolutely. Well, for Tsunami Queens, they are still in search of their first victory of the HWBSL Super League. Maybe izozama seseibuya league from the 30th of July. Asazi. Let's take a quick ad break. Umasbuya will tell you all about the Women's AFCON that is happening in just a few days' time. We are all so excited, absolutely frothing.
Pick up your hands, I'm done.
We have fantasy. Playboy deodorant. The power of attraction.
Son?
Mom, I've got a cold. What should I use for steam?
Vicks VapoRub. It contains eucalyptus oil, menthol, and camphor for a feeling of relief in 1 minute. Vicks VapoRub.
Hey, you seem relaxed about germs being spread.
Yeah, Vele, we have the protection of Dettol.
During winter, germs spread more easily. Protect your family with the regular use of Dettol bar soap because it cleans and protects from 99.99% of germs, shielding them this winter.
We want the best for our families, so protecting them from illness-causing germs is no game. Why share germs when we can share precious family moments? That's why for generations we have trusted Dettol to protect our loved ones.
Making Dettol a part of every household is how you can make sure that you and your home are 99.9% protected from germs.
Which is why I use it in so many different ways to protect my family.
When it's only time for a quick wash, Omo Auto removes tough stains in just a quick wash, so you can spend less time washing and more time living. With Omo Auto, just a quick wash is enough.
Pick up your hands, I'm done.
We have fantasy. Playboy deodorant. The power of attraction.
Ngosuku olulandelayo ke saqala ke senza amalungiselelo ukuthi sihambe siyothola izitifiketi zethu.
Ukubongwa kwabo kube into umuntu akwaziyo ukuyiqhenya ngathi ngaziphatha ngaze ngafika la ngaligqoka leli jazi ngasithola le certificate.
Emasisweni, Monday at 9, only on your #1 channel, SABC1. Mzansi, for sure.
Zasha amakhapta ndangakanani ngelokho ngoba sikwenza kanjani
uqofu lo futhi odala ohlala kofanisa ufukuza kwelithuta letomadutsela umkokazi this is umkhanya kude insizwa kampande zemithi otherwise tebo hormones
Mr. Ina iyeza
ke leboga thata SABC Samrorisa.
This is summer 28 and we are saying Mzansi for sure.
Mzansi for sure.
Well, there is still only one match left to be played in terms of UJ and Durban ladies. But as it stands, before we go into the Orcon break, this is how it is. Tsunami Queens are still rooted to the bottom, still without a victory. Nayo Golden Ladies, and of course, for Durban ladies and Richmond, they've dropped positions after this weekend's activity. Very interesting to see the movement in terms of the log. And when we go to the top of the log, it is, of course, Sundowns who are still at the top. top, followed by UWC and Indies. TUT have moved up, and EUJ following their victories today. But of course, for JVW, Bloem Celtic just dropping places there. Ganye Durban ladies following their 5-1 drubbing. This is the tournament that we are all waiting for from the 2nd of July till the 23rd. It is the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. It will be hosted in Morocco. Banyana have already arrived. They are acclimatizing to the environment, and this is what the fixtures are looking like. On the 4th of July, Monday, they will be playing against Nigeria. The build-up starts at 9:30, and then it'll be followed by Burundi and Botswana. Group C is going to be exciting, Gloria.
I believe that two debutantes in the same group, and that is Botswana and Burundi. For Nigeria and South Africa, old foes who have battled it out in this tournament. And you look at Banyana, who have been runners-up for 5 times. That's in 1995, 2000, 2008, 2012, and 2018. We're expecting them that they should get over the line.
I'm worried though about their friendly games, because you look at some of the teams right now, they're on 4 friendly matches that they've played building up to the AFCON. So I'd want to see them play a friendly match prior to their game on the 4th.
Absolutely. And remember, a gold medal for Banyana means they walk away with 400,000 Rand each per player. Sasage Soccer Zone will be on your screens from 8 p.m. on SABC Sport channels, while on SABC 1 it will be live from 10 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us in terms of the Hollywood Bets Super League. We do take a little bit of a break. We'll be back at the end of July, right after the Women's AFCON. Thank you so much to Gloria Brown, Simpiwe Dudu, the team upstairs and downstairs for this quality production. Mina ngegama uXoli Zondo. Have yourself a great evening.